so much that even whenever I do future scheduling, I do not go through there without my little document and go through step by step. I share that document with Susan, so she'll be sharing it with y'all too. It's got screenshots, pictures, step by step, everything you need to go through there. And I know in the earlier class, we did not get everything covered that I want to. I will be back again in April. What we don't get covered here today, we'll definitely get covered in April. Y'all's isn't quite as much as high school is because they're going out there doing the request where the kids get to go and take their courses themselves. Y'all aren't doing that, so we can not worry about how much gets done because we can go do utilities that will mass the things that we need to do for it. So we can do a little bit more whenever we actually do our scheduling things. And let me come over here and get signed in real quick.
Careful of the chair.
Now I'm just gonna sit in the chair because you said that.
Okay, is this scheduling or enrollment? We thought we were coming for.
We're gonna cover that real quick at the beginning, and then y'all will be able to go after we get through with that part.
Okay.
And I'm back in on Firefox again.
That's all right. We'll just do what we can.
Okay, so, the first thing that, we are gonna cover is the enrolling part, because we do have some people who are here for the enrolling part. Kind of before we jump in there to that, and I'm gonna very, very quickly go through that. We're gonna look first over here at the preferences, and I'm gonna cover that first, because this is the area where you set things up to help you do things the way you want to do it. If you were looking down and you didn't see it, preferences is right over here in the top corner. And you click on that and you get this screen. And I know those of you who are sitting there saying, she's got that way cool pink screen and mine is this ugly blue. Why? Because I picked pink over here on mine. And this is where you can pick the color that you want your screen to be, and you don't have to stay with that ugly blue screen. Normally I go through and explain these, but I'm just gonna say pick or don't pick, and I'm not really gonna give you a whole lot of choices here. Do not pick this first box. An annoying pop-up comes up. The next box, do pick that. It will automatically open your reports up for you. The next one, pick that box. Because whenever I have an alert that comes up, the background goes dim so I can see that alert. Maximize large windows is automatically going to do the big box for all your windows and you don't sit small. Automatically display pop-up browse. Stan has already pointed out, if you do that, you don't need to have the text all over the place telling you what everything is. That doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. Display browse row numbers, I'm going to tell you pick that so you've got numbers over there on your browse. Yes, you have to do the favorites because you're going to want those favorites. You don't have the next option there, so don't worry about that. Jump straight down here to the shortcut key. And the question here is, are you a control person or an alt person? Which key do you use? I use control. I think Stan, somebody said they use alt. Whichever one you use, you pick that. I can never find the alt key. I can find control, it's on the end. And then for your spreadsheet format, Microsoft Office 2002. If you're old and you need that font as big as you can get it, check the font box for the larger font. And the other two, next to the bottom is tab, to be able to use the tab key to get around in things. The other one doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be checked there or anything. And Stan's put me on purple again. Click save. He's just not really into pink. And so now you've got your preferences saved for you. And so we can get those enrollment people out. We're gonna go ahead and get the enrollment done very, very quickly, and then we'll kind of move into some other things. Go to students. Student profile. In student profile, this is where you see one student at a time. And you can work with one student at a time. In this screen, I'm gonna work with the student's grades.
I'm gonna switch schools.
Okay,
Real
that would be good.
About Wilson Central again.
And so Stan got us to a different school because when he clicked the triangle up here, it allowed him to pick a different school. You probably do not have access to other schools because you don't need access to other schools. So over here, I'm looking at the grades part for the student. And if you have a question, because I have people that are looking kind of lost, you don't have student. Okay, so, you just have the two areas right here that you have access to. And I suspect you need different, security there, and that's okay right now, because you'll get security as you need it. You have an add button up here at the top. Okay. Are you an enrollment person that enrolls kids? Okay. Okay. And I haven't pointed out my classroom rules yet. I'm not a real big hand raiser person, so if you're lost or you have a question about anything, then please by all means just say stop. Wait a minute, I got a question about this, and we'll stop and do that. Or you can be like, she didn't have a very puzzled look on your face, and we'll go from there. And I'll explain what she was seeing. Where I see all of these over here, she only had 2. And she didn't have the grades option at all. What you see over here is based on security. Right now, you have very, very, very minimal security because we tell people like Susan to keep the security very tight, very minimal until you know what people need to do and what their job is, and as they come to trainings and things like that. So if you're not seeing things over there, you don't have the security for that, but that could be okay. It's not your job, or somebody has to give you security for it. Even Stan does not have the security that I have to be able to go in and do everything, because there's some things he doesn't need to do, so he doesn't have security to that. You do not have all of these buttons up here because you don't need that many buttons. You don't need to do that many things. Right now, you should have office and you should have student. And as you get into things, you may find that you get more buttons. So if you have the add, delete, transfer buttons up here, any of those buttons at the top, thumbs up. That's my first great thing. Okay, so these are the people that just gave me a thumbs up. Those are the people who are going to be able to enter kids into the system. If you don't have that, you won't be able to. I have buttons over here, and sometimes I'll even have an add button over here. These buttons only add a grades record, a scheduling record, a transcript record. These at the top are where you can add, in my case, I can add, delete, transfer, or to a student. I'm guessing you have add but not delete. You have delete, okay. I will say to delete a student, especially if they have grades attached, it takes a lot to do that. And if I were to click on delete right now, I would get a screen that would come up and say, I do not recommend that you do this. This is not a wise decision. If I say, psh, do it anyway, I'm still gonna get another one that says, this is really not a good idea because this kid's got grades and everything else. If I say, psh, do it anyway, and I keep saying it, it's gonna delete that student. And we've got people put in service calls, I deleted 10 kids, grades and everything. You what? It was just too easy. It was not too easy. You had to jump a bunch of hurdles to be able to do that, and you said, do it anyway. So the delete is gonna give you the warnings, and when you get those warnings that come up, you need to read them and pay attention because they're coming up there for a reason. And in my system, I'm real bad about just saying, okay, number one, I'm not dealing with real people. I just have pretend people. Number two, I already know what it says, I don't need to read it. And as I say, okay, whatever, and I see those words go by, it's like, well, wait a minute. That was not what I thought it said there. It's too late now. So read it carefully before you say okay. So we're gonna go ahead and add a student in the system. We've got a new kid here, we've got to put them in, click on that add button. I did not go over this with the other group, and I will go over this very quickly. Anytime you see default means this is how I'm gonna go ahead and set up the form for you. Right now, it's setting up a specific entry date so that it's automatically gonna put January 29th as the date for the entry. Do I want it to do that? No, because every kid that comes in is not coming on January 29th. Do you have a problem? Okay, yours didn't do that because you come in before to add. Sometimes somebody's come in on your screen somehow and clicked on add, so it's already made a default there for you. We can still get you to that screen. Click the back button and go to entry withdrawal. Let's see, entry withdrawal right there. Click on edit. Click on defaults, right there. Okay, so that gets you a screen that we're at right now, a little bit. You still don't have your date option there though, but for the most part, you'll see what we're seeing right here. Okay, so I can come over here and put in a specific entry date. I do not recommend that, because that means it's automatically gonna fill in January 29th. It's just automatically gonna put that date in there. So you have a kid that comes in March 10th, what date will show up there? January 29th. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna come over here and scroll that, and I'm gonna say use current date. So now, when I go in to add a student, and yours doesn't have that option on your screen because we didn't get that option there. It's automatically gonna put that current date in. Whatever the current date is, if it's March 29th, it'll put that there. And we could go change it later on, just like she can go do some changes in hers right now. So we're gonna leave it for current date. I want that kid 100% enrolled, right? You ever have anybody that's not 100% enrolled? You do? Most of your kids are 100% enrolled, right? So I want to leave it 100% because if you're not, I'll change it. But for the most part, I'm gonna use that all the time. Entry code. What entry code do you use 99% of the time, 90% of the time? Enrolled? Transfer? Whatever you use most of the time, pick that one right there. I'll be able to change it. It'll automatically put that in for me. Are you seeing these fields on yours? Now, okay. Is there a comment that you would want to put on most of your kids transferred from another Wilson County school? So I could put that comment in there, and it's automatically gonna type that in for me, so I don't have to type it in every time. Do I have to use a comment? No. But almost everything in Skyward gives you a place to leave a comment. So if I'm gonna put in if I use transferred, and I'm gonna put a note in there, transferred from another Wilson County school, then I can type that in there and it'll put it on there. I can change that, but it'll automatically go ahead and do that for me. So go ahead, stand and type in right there, transferred from another Wilson County school. Perfect.
So if I put something there, it's gonna put it there every time?
It's gonna put it there every time. You can change it,
Okay.
but you won't have to type it in every single time.
Okay,
The default is saving you steps. Yeah. And you don't have to put anything there. I'm gonna show you. Now also notice as we change a field, it turns green. while we're on this screen. So I can go see the changes I've made before I save and see is that what I really want. We're at Wilson High School. So what school do I want them in? 073. What calendar do I want them to use? 073. And what student type? And this is where Susan was telling the people earlier, put everybody in right now as regular, because most of the kids you put in are regular. You might have special ed people later on, but y'all are gonna need to do more to find out everything, whether they're special ed. So do put that student type as regular. Again, when you see default, anytime you see the word default, you are not putting any information in the system. You are only saying, when I go and do an entry withdrawal record, I want you to put that information in there for me so I don't have to do it every single time I do this. Skyward will let you set up many defaults so that I don't have to go type that every time I do it. And over here, if the student already has a record in the district, what information would you like it to carry over from that record? Well, I don't want it to do school, because maybe they're coming from Mount Juliet. I don't want it to keep that Mount Juliet school in there. So I'm not gonna check school, I'm not gonna check calendar. But what about student type? If you were special ed at Mount Juliet, are you still special ed at Wilson? Yeah, so I could keep that student type there. And if you are coming in with a different student type, then it's gonna go ahead and change it there. District, yeah, everybody better have the Wilson County district, right? I mean, so if you've got a different district, then yeah. And if you are different enrollment at your other school, should we keep that percent enrolled here? If we should keep your percent enrolled, then I can say keep that, huh?
I don't understand that.
Like if you've got kids that are 50% enrolled and not 100% enrolled. So if you were 50% enrolled before, are you still gonna be 50% enrolled? And generally, most people we deal with are 100%. Anything that's not is a special situation. So basically, you have special situation before, or you still special situation. And then we click on save. We have not entered anybody yet. All we did is say, I want to save this information for me and use it for me. First and foremost important thing, when I learned Skyward, all the way down at the bottom, and that's my biggest beef with this. When I learned Skyward, we did not have this option. Wait a minute, don't check it yet, Stan. These right here are all the names in your system, in the Wilson County School District system. And so when I come in here and type a name, it's gonna pull from everybody who's already in here. When I first started working at Skyward, we would often get calls that said, I had this student, Mario Lopez, who came in to register, and I registered him, and we had a guardian named Mario Lopez, and I accidentally registered guardian Mario Lopez as a student. So what do I do now? You delete that student and you start all over again. That's all you can do.
I'm not where you are.
You're not, oh, no, because we had to go use a different route. Thank you. So now click on add up there and you'll be where we are.
Yeah, thank you.
And yes, I tell everybody I gave out an award every day as a teacher because I learned very quickly. If you don't have something to be positive in your day, there's nothing positive in your day. So I have to look for something. So yes, people who ask questions, she's already on the list as somebody who's gonna win the award today in my class. So do not be afraid to ask, please. So as we would get this call often and often and often, they finally decided, let's come down here and pick this box, tiny at the very bottom where nobody sees it, displays students only. So now when I check that box, this list changes, and anybody who was a guardian, staff member, a vendor, anybody like that comes off this list because now I'm only looking at students. So I'm gonna do two things right here real quick. Oh, that would be a good one, yeah, we're gonna use him too. Type in Walters. And I see that you already have some Walters in the system because that name came up, and put in Harvey. And y'all have Harveys in the system too. Do you already have a Harvey Walters in the system? I click here to search for entered name. And I see that there is no student already named Harvey Walters because that name didn't come up over here to show anybody it matches. So in that case, we're not gonna do this, but in that case, I'd come over here and say, enter that name as a student because we need to put that student in the system, yeah? But we're not gonna do that right now. Don't do that. Just stand, okay, I gotta take another one out.
Jeez.
Okay, back, that one. Okay, go back to add over there.
Man.
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
She bothered me and I mean,
I don't know that kid. Yes, James, waking up.
after I got in Walters
Mhm.
and Harvey.
Click here to search for entered name. And you see no students down here next to that name, okay. So, we're gonna save that, oh, it's already got print, they already put that in there for me, so we're gonna save that. Now, this time, and those of you who have the names in there, just X out. If you come over here, it'll give you a little, X that out. And this time, just watch, because if y'all add the names in there, then you're adding a student in, and then I gotta go take everybody's names out. So, yeah. Because y'all don't have a training database, I've already talked to Susan about that, so you'll be able to practice with it. Do you see where the X is up there? Huh? Okay, then, y'all go ahead and click the back button and just back out, and then just watch here for this part, because like I say, I don't want to be taking out 17, 18 names in the system. And the back key is right there. And do not let me forget before those people leave, the red X.
Yeah.
Okay, so, ABDO and John, because I got this kid enrolled in John Abdo. I click to search for entered name, and this time, I get one. So, my kid that I'm entering is a 7th grade student. So I scroll over here on my John Abdo, and I see that he is 6 years old. If I go say, select this student and do not try to stand. If I say select this student and add them to the current entity, I just put a 6-year-old kid at Wilson High School. And I just took that 6-year-old kid and said, yep, that's the kid I'm looking for over here. Just like I was saying that people did it with a parent, I just did that here. I can look at this kid and say, yeah, you're a kindergarten kid, age 6. You're not the John Abdo that I'm talking about here. Do you have more than one John Abdo? Yes. So I want to enter the name John Abdo in, and I get this thing that says, I think you may have made a mistake here. Because there is already a John Abdo in the system. Do you really want to come over here and put this one in the system? Do I? Yes, because mine's not a 6-year-old, so I click on yes. That's that screen that I tell you read. Make sure that that's what it says and pay attention to what it's telling you, because it's telling you because it thinks you're fixing to make a mistake. Date of birth has an asterisk, it's required. Anything with an asterisk is a required field. I said so technically I'm in a high school age kid birth date. 2000, okay. So let's do, and this is one of my favorite parts about it. I'm even gonna Stan do something different than last time. Type in 14, 2000. No spaces, no slashes, or 0. Not even a 0, 1. Now, come click over here. And you notice it just went and fixed it as a date for me anyway. When I go on websites now and I go type in the date and I do it like that and it says, oh, it's not date format, I'm like, oh, shut up. I don't have to do that in Skyward. I don't have to do it there either. You will notice it also put his age in there because the system looks at it and knows how old the kid has to be based on that birth date. That's purple. You can't change it because it's pulling it from this information. It also put in the grad year. It says this kid, based on that birth date, is a 9th grader. And he's going to graduate in 2018. Oh, well, he's been retained. So he's actually an 8th grader. Okay, then I can't change the 8th grader, that's purple, but I can change the grad year and make it 2019. This is where you want to change it, if you know that up front. If not, we can still change it. It's just a little bit more process to change it. So if you know that beforehand, change it. Gender is required. We have an asterisk. You'll notice that none of this is required. No asterisk. Again, for your state reporting, that may be required. Stan and them can say, you must not enroll a kid without this information here. That's their rules. Skyward says, I'll take it without that. We don't have to fill it in. Other ID is also required, and this is what Susan was talking about earlier that I did not know about. Right now, you'll have your SMS system. You've got an other ID there in that other system. Right now, before you are Skyward, strictly Skyward, you've got to take that number and copy and paste it from SMS and put it right there in the other ID.
For the new
Because if
ones.
you don't, it's not going to pull your information correctly. But once you're no longer on SMS, and Susan did say this is a concern she had, in your SMS system, y'all couldn't change this number. It automatically put a number there for you. In Skyward, you can change that number. Just because of stuff like this. Do you recommend that you change that number? No. We do not recommend you change that number. And if y'all change that number and then you've got mistakes and problems from it and Susan has to put in a service call, I can already tell you how that butt chewing goes because I take plenty of those service calls. We do not recommend that you touch that other ID number because we don't. Is your situation different? Yes, we're still connected to SMS. So you've got to change that other ID number right there now. But once you are strictly Skyward, SMS no more, will you mess with that other ID? No. So right now you copy SMS, paste it in there. We're good on the other ID and we get that, yes? Will you change this number right now? Yes. Where will you get that number from? SMS. It's your 950 number or something like that. Y'all should know what I'm talking about there. Yeah, that number there.
It should be for any kids that just come new
Yeah,
after they've moved this data.
yeah. So once you get into Skyward and you're not using the SMS thing anymore, will you change that other ID? No. You don't touch that at all. Okay, so now looking at this screen, what do I have to fill in? What is required?
Excuse me,
Uh-huh.
could we possibly get to where we could pull that up here? I could see it, I think I could get better if I could just look at it close. Is there some way?
Not without adding a student in. If I do that, then we have to go delete that student you had because we're gonna be adding a student into your actual data. And I really don't wanna do, I don't wanna add, if y'all had a training database, I would say yes. And I understand walking through it is a whole lot better, I totally get that. But the only way to do that is if y'all actually add students into your system. And so, yeah, I prefer not to. But I think you can see why, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Cause I gotta go take out these people for sure before I leave, otherwise you'll have kids in there. Yeah. So next required field here, what's the next required field? that you see? How do you know it's required? I know you can hardly see it from over there. I know, I get that.
Federal rate.
Federal race is required. Actually, what you can do to see it, Stan, give me another new window right here real quick. Just right here on this one.
Oh, on that one?
Yeah, on this one right here we're doing. And y'all are in students. Student profile. Here's, click on any kid you've got right here, whichever kid comes up, and click on edit.
Okay.
No, but you can only do that if you have the general profile tab. If you don't have the general profile tab, you won't be able to do it. So if you don't have general profile,
I do.
you do, okay, then you can do that. And you can click on edit, and when you click on edit, you'll see the same information that we're
Thank
looking at right now for the most part. Yeah.
easier.
Well, I thought about that after I got to thinking about that. So go ahead and click on back there, Stan, and minimize that one. Okay, so this is that same information that we're looking at here. And so we do have to pick a federal race. And we have to pick a language. Now, what I say to do, you can click this purple link right here. I don't. Just put the cursor right there. English, ENG, and just start typing and it comes up there. If you don't know what the code is, you can type one letter back up and then your list will come up there for you. I don't click on the language there, Stan. The link. You can get that full list come up, but I'm kind of too ADD for that, I think, to see that list like that. So back out of there. The next thing, this information here should be correct. You shouldn't need to change any of this because it's defaulted to come in correctly. Current year status active next year full-time. Current year member include an honor roll. We don't use honor roll. Okay, then put it to no. Include in rank, we don't use rank. Okay, put no there. You can change those things if you don't use that. To me, and I stress this because I've been in the district before, is this very, very bottom part, the student demographic information. And this is, you know how the military sends out, whenever my daughter was in high school, junior year, she started getting the Army, Navy mailings and everything. You set it to yes, those kids are gonna be able to get it. That parent check no on that form and you don't go change that, they're gonna get that. Higher ed, colleges start sending out the stuff and they get that. If the parents mark no, you've got yes, they're getting that. Public, depends on what you'll use for public, district, and local. I know whenever I taught at one district, we did a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that. I do not want my kid to be in any YouTube videos. Whatever you use for that, maybe that's public, you mark it to no. You can see how you can set all to yes, all to no. And so if they said yes to everything except one no, then you could go change that one. If they said no to everything, mark it on no, change the one yes on there at the bottom. You seeing that down the bottom? Okay, you kind of puzzled look on there.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't see the part right above that.
What does it say?
That right there. I don't-
Oh, because y'all are doing it from the other screen. But that is full-time student, current year status, next year status. And so you've got that on the side over there, probably. Where it's got, no, that's on the entity information tab, so that's even on a different tab, sorry about that. There is an option where these can all be set to blank, and that way it has to be touched by everybody, and you have to actually look and pay attention there, and that's something for administrative people to decide how they want that done, because if they're all set to blank, I can't save this till I've touched it. To me, this is a big deal. Because that's who I know can be in a YouTube video or who can get whatever and everything like that. And so, then yes, you can run a report to see who can and can't based on what you select there in those. So now when I click on save and add entry record, we put that kid in the system and now I have to go, take him out and clean him up and everything because he is in your system now. From here, All that information that we put in on that screen, where I said use today's date, put them in as regular, transfer from another WCS school, all that information is already filled that in for me. Where we set up that default, the very first thing we did. This kid is actually not a transfer span, so highlight over that one and put him enrolled. And so I want to take that out right there, that comment, so I can just highlight that, delete it. And now I took out a little bit of information I needed to change there. And again, y'all can't see that on that screen because that's creating that enrollment record over there. Yeah, so right click save, that's where I got that. But otherwise, everything else is exactly what it had before. Doesn't have any prior enrollment history. Here's those default entry withdrawal options where, what is your name in the gray shirt?
Annette.
Annette didn't have those before. When she comes in to add a student the first time, click on entry, default entry withdrawal options, and that's where you can go change it for real, for real. Okay, so back out of that.
So if I hit save entry record right here, I'm saving this kid to my, okay. I haven't done that. So how do I get away from it?
Okay, Stan, how does he get away from it?
You hit the back button.
No, don't hit the back button. Even more important than that.
You can hit the red X, the
You
X
can click
button.
the X at the top because
If you hit the,
the lady who taught me Skyward taught me, and she's another teacher, and the one thing I learned was, do not click the red X. Especially when you tell me that way. Why not? In y'all's case, it's not red, but it usually is the X up there at the top. Click the X. Yep. And it's all done and gone. So, and I asked her why, and she said, because I told you not to. Well, that's another reason not to do that. If I hit the back button right now, go ahead and hit the back button, Stan. Oh, God. Hit the back button here. Oh, crud, I think you may already be in there. Usually, if I hit the back button, it says, you did not save your information. You really want to back out of this, and I'll show you that later on. If I hit the red X, it's gone for sure. It's completely, totally gone. So your guy, whoever you put in there, they may be in there. Do you know what the name was?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
You could have made up a name, but you should just put up.
See, and that's what I usually do. I go ahead and make up a name in my system. If you ask me who I just put in there, heck, I don't know who I put in there. I made it up. So we'll go through the hit the back button again, and I'll show you that. But if you're a red X person, get out of that habit. I go put all my grades in. I just added grades for 10 papers. All 10 of those grades, the whole 10 papers I just created, they're all gone. If you're a red X person, get out of it. Put a note up there. Do not click the red X because you're going to lose all your work and you got to go do it again. Do not hit the red X. Okay, so that is enrollment, except for you'll go through add family, add, the information there. Family, when we add the family in, we're going to do the same thing we did for kid. We've got the option at the bottom to add family. I go type in Mario Phelps. It pulls up Mario Phelps. Yep, enter that one or nobody, just like we did with the kid, the options we had there with it. So I know you didn't get to walk through it and do it, but you understand why I say no, don't walk through and do it, because I just get real antsy about adding kids in the system that aren't real kids or anything like that.
oh, and this is not the sandbox anymore.
Yeah, this
This
not
is the real
sandbox.
deal.
Yeah, yeah. And like I say, I've talked to Christian and Susan about getting y'all a training database so that you can, especially when y'all go through demographics, which is where you usually learn the enrollment, to be able to go and play and just add people all day and get really good and comfortable. But y'all aren't gonna get demographics training till maybe April, I
April.
think, yeah. And so this is the day to be able to get you through that part right there. Before the enrollment people leave, let me go through very quickly a couple of other things here. Blue eyeball. I click the blue eyeball and I can see anything that I have security access to. So I can see the parent information. You will have a picture of the students once you get that information in over there. I can see the emergency contacts family. Once those are put in, I'll have email addresses, phone numbers, all of that right there. And, back out of that. And how did I get that information? The blue eyeball. And you may not have the blue eyeball right now because that is a security thing too. So if you don't have it, it's, that's fine. Next thing, if I need to go to a different student, I can highlight right there. I can type in their other ID, that, 9 number, that 950 number we had. I can just start typing in the name. So type in J-O-N. And they just automatically start coming up over there. And I can go pick, yep, that right there. Maybe I don't see enough in the list because I think it only shows like 20. Type in the next letter until you get that. And while we're there on that part, this is the student name key right here. The student name key, I'm using John Apto because he's a perfect example. First 5 letters of your last name. First 3 of your first name. 3-digit placeholder. So my name is Suzanne Smith-Wick. So I've got Smith, that's my 5 letters. SUC for Suzanne. Now at Skyward, I was actually the second one to come in. So my placeholder is 001. Susie Smith started about a year before I did. And she was 000. My sister-in-law, Susan Smith-Wick, if she came to work for Skyward, would be Smith. And if she spelled her name with a Z, she would be 002. When, in the largely Hispanic populations, we did a lot of training in Laredo this year, where you've got 33 Julio Ramones, then you could go all the way to 033. So each one comes in as the next placeholder over there for it. Now, here we have John Abdo. Anybody see the problem here? So what do we do with this? And everyone's like, well, of course you know what they do with it. I promise you do not. As a first grade teacher, whichever programmer thought this was smart, I could wring their neck. Because the answer to that is A, B, D, O, space, J, O, H, 000. Not underscore, space. So when you're trying to teach these little first grade kids how to go log in on the computer, yeah, and I've taken plenty of service calls. Is there any way we can change that name key over there so we can make it a little bit easier for people to log in? No, it is system-wide. Every single person in the system, vendor, guardian, emergency contact, staff member, anybody in the system has a name key. 533. So when I'm typing in any of these searches up here, it's the name key. I type in SMITHWICK, I lose it at WICK because I'm past the 5. It's got to be the name key. And that's why I say start typing in more of the name key if you can get who you're looking for there. I can also button, to go one more. That's kind of time consuming and useless in my opinion. I don't usually go through that and do that one. My favorite, and Stan's favorite too, and I promise it'll be your favorite, click on student. And not yet, Stan, not yet. Last name begins with HAR. Search. And here's all my HAR kids over here. So I could come over here and potentially find who I'm looking for there. And this time I'm gonna pull somebody off of that. First name begins with, come up here, Stan, and type in JOS. And search. Here's all my HAR JOS kids. Now, I could also put in birth date, if I knew birth date, not even put in last name, first name, just put in their birth date. I'll get all my kids out of that birth date. And actually, it's all the kids in the system, not just my kids. I believe. Scroll over there. That might just be, back over. May just be mine. I'm not sure there on that one. I have to look at that and play with that for sure. Yeah, I think it is just mine because of my next scenario here. X those out. Now y'all have to delete it. Sometimes it's got the X there, sometimes it doesn't. Everybody's favorite situation, and that's why Stan loves this, and he always wants to rain on my parade and go take it away from me, but it's my favorite too. You get that mom that calls in. This is Maria Garcia, and please tell Juan that he needs to ride the bus today. Because you all know Maria Garcia, and you know which one she goes with, right? No, nobody does. So I come down here to Guardian, I start typing in Garcia. And if y'all had a Garcia in there, it would do just like it did when we were typing in the kids' names, and it would pull up that parent name. So type in H-A-R, we'll try that. Oh wait, y'all don't have any guardians in there, that's what it is. Y'all do not have any family information in it all. But it's gonna pull that guardian up for you, pull that information, and now you can go find out who goes with that name. And I know that it's only y'all's names because if that name doesn't come up there, then she's called the wrong school too. And that never happens, does it? Yeah. Nobody knows what school their kid goes to. If I get their email address, I can search that way. Male, female, prayer status, any of that. I can also come over here and search by full name, first, middle, last, and just start typing. Come back over here, Stan, and type in K-A-I. We'll see if there's any K, was there anything here. So here's all my K-A-Is. I could even just come over here and start typing in that one, maybe. Last name, H-A-R. And here comes my H-A-Rs. That other ID, that 950 number, if I know what that is, I can start typing that in. State student number, outer key, other name, and I don't know any, well, I do know one district now that uses other name. Oh gosh, it's so sad. They have too many kids in their district that are baby girl because that's what was on the little tag whenever they're at the hospital. And they didn't know that that wasn't the real name or anything. So that's what's on the birth certificate because it said baby girl. So this is near Houston, Texas. This district has a huge number of baby girl. And so they do use other name. It's the first district I've ever found that uses other name over there because no, we really call her Linda. Okay, that's who she is then. So they really and truly do use other name. But otherwise, who uses other name? But if you did use it, then there it is. So we can go ahead and back out of that one. That's the way to find our students. Another way, over here, students. The very top in the tab students and student browse.
Bless you. Bless you.
We can come down here in the lookup box. Anytime you see the lookup box, H-A-R. Enter. And here's the start of my H-A-R kids. Another one of my beefs on Skyward is that when it says 20 records right here, it does not mean your top 20, your first 20. It's a random sampling of your 20 records. So you could have other H-A-Rs in here, and it's not necessarily. Just afraid it's going to be a whole lot of the, we'll see though. I can always come over here, export to Excel. Right, and it's going to export that list out there to an Excel spreadsheet for me. And then I get all of what I wanted. It's a beautiful spreadsheet. It's great and wonderful. When I first started learning Skyward and I had my one student at a time in full screen, because I didn't do this as a teacher, I asked them, why do anybody want the browse screen? What do you use the browse screen for? This is what you use the browse screen for. I hate reports. The reports, there are a million of them out there. and you can do so many things with it. I can't remember them all. You get it on browse screen, there's your report right there. So we scroll all the way down there in the very bottom. I can see that y'all have, because we're doing active and inactive kids. I can see that y'all have 2,288 active and inactive kids in Wilson County High School.
Wilson Central.
Database, huh?
Wilson Central.
Wilson Central, what? Oh gosh, I'm so bad on that. I'm bad. So then I can go do it like any spreadsheet. And I can take out columns, arrange columns, do whatever I want with that. X out of that. And I can even fix my filters up here so I only see what I want to see beforehand. I can put my filter there, only see 9th grade kids maybe, and I do that. Click right there. I come over here for my G, mouse over G. And it says it's gender. Oh, not what I wanted right there. I want grade. So remember we picked that option to mouse over it. If you don't know what it is, you mouse over it and it tells you it's the grade right there. 0909. Apply filter. And now on this list, I'm only gonna see my 9th grade kids. And so now whenever I put it out in the spreadsheet, it's only gonna be my freshman kids. This time I'm not gonna do the spreadsheet, I'm gonna do this little printer with the magnifying glass. And this is gonna give me a report that I can just go print. So now I can print this screen. I can come over here and hide the grad year, hide default entity, hide birth certificate, hide those things I don't want to see. Make that report what it needs to be. Click on print this screen. And if I click OK, that's going to the printer. And on that note, next very, very important thing to point out, because I don't know how many pages this is going to be. It could be several pages, especially if it's that 2,000 kids going out over there. X that out. And I know you've all been here too. It's not just Texas, it can't be. I go print a report, and I did not know that report was going to be 336 pages, and now what am I going to do? And I got to hide the bodies, because if somebody sees that many pages, then I am going to be on a paper for sure. The wonderful thing about Skyward is I don't have to hide bodies anymore, because when I go print a report, it comes up here to my print queue. This is a report that, let's see, course report by course, number 8. We printed the course report earlier today, which is showing their whole course master, all the courses that they have. I can just come back over here and say, let's look at that report again. And we go view that report. And there's detailed information about every one of their courses they have over there. If I scroll down near the bottom there, because I really do want to print this. Where did it print? Okay, it's not, because we're in Firefox. Internet Explorer is down here at the bottom. Firefox, the printer icon is up here at the top. And I can go print that over there. And it's going to be 16 pages. Oh, I'm not allowed to print out 16 pages. It's okay, it ran, you know how much it is, and it didn't go use the paper or anything like that. I did not expect this report to be 338 pages. It's okay, it didn't print out anywhere, it's right here. And you've got 2 days to go look at it. Go ahead and close out of that, because it does say everything's deleted automatically after 2 days. So you've got 2 days. Well, if I want to save it, we have the option to save it there. You can also save this report here if you have that option there. But if not, and you may not have it on the print queue. Oh, y'all don't have anything in the print queue anyway. Yeah, because y'all haven't run any reports yet. I've run a ton of reports in the 2 days I've been here. So I could save it here, or when I was out there at Firefox, I have the option to save it there too, save it in a file. Now, the next thing, I know that in the other groups, some of the people are talking about our reports, and I will say, a lot of our reports in my mind are not user-friendly. Like that one right there has a lot of information on it that's kind of information overload to me sometimes. I can click on convert to Excel and simple dump, and it's gonna go dump that into an Excel spreadsheet for me. That's, yeah, we're still gonna have to do the Excel thing there with it. And so now I've got that over here in an Excel spreadsheet that I can look at it. And I can go manipulate that, whatever I want to do there with it or anything. So on that note, go ahead and close that out. If I hit, this is, okay, back out of that, yeah, back out of that one. What do I do to get my print queue where I can go see those reports I've printed off? How do I get to that print queue? Right up here at the top, it says my print queue. So I click on my print queue right there, and it brings up those reports. If I click the spreadsheet icon here, what am I gonna get? If I click export, I'm gonna get this information right here, exported to a spreadsheet. Do I want this sent to a spreadsheet? No, I want that report in a spreadsheet. So what do I do to get that report as a spreadsheet? Convert to Excel spreadsheet. If it's got that option there, you can convert it to a spreadsheet. Go back, go with that one right there. If it doesn't, you cannot put it out in a spreadsheet. It's not something that you can do a spreadsheet with. So if I want the report as a spreadsheet, convert to Excel, and it'll put that report in a spreadsheet there after it's running. And it'll dump that over there. So go ahead and X out. And I know we have not gotten to anything yet, and you're already sitting here thinking, I'm already on overload. Student browse, I'm gonna be there all the time. I want it to be a favorite, do the star. And now it's added over here as one of my favorites. Go ahead and click on the favorites over there, Stan. And I can see that it's been added to the favorites over there. Click down here. I actually go to edit favorites. I can edit what it's called. If I want to call it something else, I can move it up so it's a different number. I can change it to student list. And save that. So now we're actually going to move to future scheduling. Hit Control, Stan. And I don't have any of those over there. But let's say that, oh, Course Master. Yes, that's exactly where I want it to go. So I hit Control, my list comes down. It's supposed to automatic. Oh, okay. Somebody asked me today, best browser to use, what do y'all recommend and everything. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Stan. Whenever I use Firefox, it put it back down here at the bottom, and I have to keep pulling that back down here at the bottom, and that's what I run to find. Sometimes whenever I use Firefox, I have to go pull it back up down there, and that sometimes irritates me, and I don't necessarily like that. Chrome updates very, very, very often their own system, and they are notorious for having new update, new update, new update, new update. The problem with that is when they go update something on their side, now this no longer works on our side. And a lot of people say, I can't do this anymore. Do you use Chrome? Yeah, try using Internet Explorer. Oh, it works now. Because Chrome has gone and made some kind of update, affected how ours displayed. So now we have to go change our system to meet with Chrome. For a while, we were not even supporting Chrome at all because of that. But we do still support them. It's just sometimes things do change there. I use Internet Explorer usually whenever I'm using my skyward stuff because I've found that I have the least amount of problems with that. Next thing for everybody, if you were on a screen and you are like, gosh, I don't think I know what to do there. I need help. Click on the question mark and SkyDoc. And you may or may not be able to pull up SkyDoc. We've had some issues getting it to come up, some that have not. When you do that, it will either pull up the tutorial for you, or you'll get a screen like this that says, these are the 3 things that you might be trying to do on that screen. I want to see
Or a
the
blank
profile.
page. Blank page.
You got blank page?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
titled blank page.
We're gonna go, oh, yeah, that's what I say. Some people have problems. If you X out and try coming in again, you might have a better chance of getting in there. And if are you an Internet Explorer? Okay.
Yes.
Try Xing out and come back in again. Okay, to actually get in there, we may have to get into Internet Explorer, but, go ahead and exit out of that one and pull up, oh, right here, that's gonna do it for us. Go to options and allow pop-ups. So now we should be able to get in over there. Come pull it back up down there again. Okay, now we'll click the profile tab.
Bless you, bless you.
I might have to grab the Internet Explorer. But the SkyDoc has very good documentation on how to get the things and how to troubleshoot. And since I know that Susan's gonna do more trainings with y'all and everything, and we do have a short day, and we only have half time, I'll kind of leave the SkyDocs right now, especially since we're having problems getting it to come up with something that Susan can show you more about. But through the SkyDocs, you can get into the training center, which before we can teach or do anything in Skyward, we have to go and listen to the training center. Training center is down here at the bottom of this list on the side. And scroll down a little bit more, Stan. And yeah, click over here on student management. Once I get to my big words, I always go into those. We can click on future scheduling right here. And I can see future scheduling. Those of you wanting to enroll students, we could come back up here to the student management part, demographics, because it's actually in the demographics training. And let's see, the one on entry withdrawal tab. I could come over here to session 12. And entry withdrawal defaults and adding an entry right there. 15 minutes and 12 seconds, I can go watch that video and learn how to enter. All the way down here at the bottom.
I don't have that little section where.
Okay, you have this over here, menu, search, index. No, because y'all's is still blank, isn't it? Yeah. Once you get into SkyDoc and this comes up, it automatically takes you where you've got the little tree over here on this side. So if you scroll all the way down to Training Center, it will, yeah, because it's all expanded right now. But there's your training center, and you can go listen to them. And I would like to say they're great and wonderful and terrific, but they're very dry, very boring. And I'm trying to bring something beyond that to the
So
training.
you gotta be in that SkyDoc to see that.
You gotta be in SkyDoc to see that, yeah. And once you can get in there, you'll be able to go click on that training center, pick demographics, and it will take you to that. And then you can look through here, enter withdrawal tab right there. Session 12, click on right there, adding an entry, 15 minutes, 12 seconds. I'm walking you through that. And again, remember, until you have a training database that's in the sandbox. So if you do it in here, you're doing it in your real data, you gotta go delete that kid out after that, otherwise you just added a real kid in there. Do you have a question?
Can we just give this, I mean, you have instructions on paper.
No, because it's all over on the SkyDoc thing. But if you click SkyDoc, and that's why I say I'm gonna kind of let Susan help you more on the SkyDoc area, since we can't really get it to come up today, because it's all out there at SkyDoc. And, I mean, we could do a whole, as Ken can tell you, we could do a whole 30, 45 minutes on SkyDoc alone, on how to go in and get to different things on SkyDoc. I can also click up here, search, and type in entry, and go. And then this right here, let's put in entry withdrawal to kind of see if it takes it out some. We still got a lot, but at least it gives you these TC Training Center, when you see TC Training, that's Training Center there. And that will help you find those.
Okay, Susan acted like that she wanted, especially in the high school, she said any kids that we just enrolled since Christmas, bring that list of people and the information here. So you're saying we do not need to be doing anything until she talks to us, or you?
No, you can go enter those kids, yeah.
I don't feel good about that, do you?
No, I'm completely not.
Yeah.
Scared of them.
But it's just like we were talking about before, you click on add, you put that student name in and everything like we did over there before. And that's what you would do to go through and add those students in there, yeah. And so,
Those students, you were talking about how they have a number, you've got to have what, 533 or something? So when you do that, and you put in your first student, you're adding your first one, is that the 000 and then the 001 after that of your new one? Your brand new one?
X out right there, Stan.
You know what I'm saying, when you're new students,
Uh-huh.
is that where you begin with that?
Come over here and click on add, Stan. So what I would do is come in, type that last
Hold
name.
on, do you have a student with you, the name of the student right there on that sheet of paper?
Okay, then go ahead and on your student profile.
What's your school? That's, Watertown.
Back out of
Okay.
this one,
Let me switch to
Okay.
Watertown's, we'll just do one, how's that?
okay?
Watertown High School. Right there, bring your list over here.
Well, actually, we're gonna have you call out, okay? Name out the information that you've got there, okay?
All right,
So
so
we're gonna click on add.
we're gonna click on add.
We're clicking on add there, and because I'm coming into a new entity, I've got this whole, default parameters again. So, do my current date up here first, Stan, because I like to take care of that first. Current date, okay. Entry code, what's the entry code for this kid?
Let's see, we're gonna do Brandon Page, so he is a transfer.
Okay. You want to make a comment?
Where'd he come from?
Oh, from Gallatin Senior High School.
But it didn't. It doesn't give us that page that you're seeing right now.
No, because you've already gone, remember, once you've gone in there, once I come in here, I'm not ever gonna see us again until I go click on it again later on.
So we're good.
Yeah. Student type, district, percent, yeah, save.
All right, so this is what you'll have.
Pick my student box down here. Name,
Peach,
Page, P-E-A-C-H.
first name,
Brandon.
and when we click here, search for your name, we don't have him in here already because he hasn't been put into Skyward yet. He's been at Gallatin, but I don't know why he's not already in there from Gallatin or anything.
Gallatin's another district.
Oh, another district. Okay, good. I was kind of getting worried about that. So I got no names over here. Add in her name as student. And here's all that information that we put in over here. Date of birth.
You got that?
Give us the date of birth. Yeah, because we got one over here.
Oh, I don't have all that information with me.
She didn't
Okay,
have,
that's the information you gotta have to be able to get them, because you gotta have the date of birth, the gender, I think we know that. That other ID is what we're talking, you're gonna copy and paste.
So when I put this with the new number, is he the very first child that I would use that new one on?
That automatically populates that, right? We're not making up that.
That's what she was saying earlier when she was in here, Stan.
It would be the child's number that they have from the state.
No, I mean, the thing that she's
The-
talking about, the A,
The
B.
Yeah.
SMS number.
That's just a key code of how, look up there on the
It
thing.
just automatically does that.
It automatically does that for
You're
you.
not gonna give the.
Oh, it'll automatically do that?
Yeah.
Yes, it's not automatically do it, but I knew she
The-
sent out
the-
that text message
The
earlier.
950 number over here
Oh.
is the number that's generated if he was our kid, just started school.
Okay, so because he's from another district, y'all are already having an SMS.
That's correct.
Okay, but, and let me make sure I have this straight. If he had shown up down there on the bottom, then you would have to copy and paste his SMS number, right?
Mhm.
Okay, does that make sense to you?
I mean, that other number, is that all going to automatically populate the 533?
533? What's 533? Oh, the name key, the name key, yes, the name key has already made itself up here.
See, look,
533.
Okay.
The name key's already done. As soon as you put that name in there,
Okay.
it automatically did it.
The only time we have to change that is when somebody has the exact same name.
It does that for you. It automatically gives them, if y'all had, let's say that y'all had Brandy Peach, who is already in your system, then he would have gotten 001.
Okay.
Let's say that you had,
That's what, I think that's what she was talking about.
yeah, no, that automatically, as soon as you put any person in there, it automatically makes
Does
that
that
for you
number
up
then,
there.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other ID is automatically gonna come in too, unless they've already got somebody in there. So he had already been one of y'all's kids before, you take that SMS and put that for the other ID. So because we don't have a date of birth, we can't enter this one,
Okay.
but, because I've got this name key over here, I already know that this kid is put in the system. So Stan, go ahead and red X.
what does that do if I hit the red X?
Click the red X, what's gonna happen?
I'm asking them.
Yeah, what's gonna happen? Huh?
There you go.
No, it's gonna say, it's gonna give you a pop-up. And you're gonna say, you sure you?
Nope,
No?
Oh,
It
it's all
deletes.
gone,
Go.
but
Yeah.
come over here and do add. And this is what I was kind of saying to you earlier. Oh, gosh. Click save on that. Yeah, that's what we already did over there. Type in Peach. Brandon, right? And this is where I wasn't sure what was gonna happen there. Click search here for entered name. Okay. We don't have a Brandon Peach over here, so you were okay because you X'd out of yours. We don't have that one to take out of there. I was afraid since it had done the name key, it had already put it in there. But it didn't since we X'd out of it. Add entered name here. And now it's got that name key up here already created again. So when you get back, even though we've already done this and everything, you're still gonna have to go through everything once you've got that birthday information.
Okay.
So click the back button there, Stan. I still think it went out and went back and it didn't save it there and didn't give us the option to tell us it's gonna save it there. So that's what you're doing to enter a student, just what we did right there. Now you're gonna get family information, you're gonna get a screen for family information and all that. Susan wants them to put that in if they have that.
Yes,
But for your old kids that you don't have, that, they don't have family information in there yet, because they haven't gotten to that part of the conversion. So those won't have family, but your new people will have family information there.
Can we not go back anyway? We can't go back into SMS here and get our information while we're here?
you could, but not during this training.
Okay.
We don't have time.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you. Because I'm already kind of in that panic zone that, oh no, we haven't gotten
Hey.
into your scheduling part yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Annette.
Okay, so, all right, are you, I forgot what her name is. Annette, are you better now about adding your students in? Okay, yeah. Oh, I may want to mess up here at the front. So, I think for my enrollment people that are just doing the enrollment stuff, that is really all I have on y'all, because that's the enrollment thing right there. And I've showed you about the print queue, the new window, the favorites. and getting to Skydock. But, we kinda can't get into Skydock right now. We can try one more time, click, and see if that gets us in there. Click profile tab right there,
I'm sorry, where?
profile tab. Yep. And that's because we're going in through Firefox. Oops, I canceled. Just click that one tab to close, right here. Yeah. And don't do that one's the one that's doing the recording thing, yeah, leave that one there. But come back down here and pull my, Firefox. I can't get in that one. Okay, one thing I will say right here, while you're over at Internet Explorer, go pull, one of those off of Internet Explorer that's got, pull this one right here, second from the bottom.
There?
Yeah. And I point this out because this is where I was earlier today in Internet Explorer. Since then, I have come and logged in again. And I do this all the time as a teacher. I'd be in my classroom, go, we gotta get to computer lab, everybody come on quick, line up, let's putting in grades and everything. I go log in at computer lab, let me get over here to where I need to be. So I click on office there. And I come over here and say, come over to course master there. And it says, it appears that you are attempting to work over here when you have logged in somewhere else. What happened to this stuff that I was working on over here in this that I hadn't saved or closed out of or anything? You lost it. So save before you run someplace and come get logged in again because you just lost it if you didn't. Because now I can't get back into that over there. And just go to close Windows stand because I logged in again through there. Again, I have issues with Firefox because it does put it back down there at the bottom. So I personally don't use Firefox even though I use it at home and love it. I don't like that aspect of it here. I don't know how to change it. I use Internet Explorer most of the time. So, yeah, we can't go back. That's where we just were standing.
How about Internet Explorer?
I have to log in again, which I'm good with doing that.
You're already in.
But, that's what I was just showing them. Jump over there and say go somewhere else. And it says, you have logged in again, and so it logged me out over there. So
Okay.
because I'm logged in at Firefox again, yeah. So register people or enrollment people, that's kind of really all we have there on that, and yeah. No, I'm just saying you can leave, you can certainly stay, but we're not gonna be covering more of the enrollment stuff.
This family access information thing, is this where the parents can check the grades, and is this something I'm supposed to be checking?
Allow access to family access, yes, you can check that, and then they will be able to go in and do their family access. And so, and that's what I was gonna tell her too, you're gonna get that family screen there. And that again is gonna depend on your district, I should stop right there and say that first. In one of my districts, you could not go do family access until you had come to the family access training and we showed you how to do it. So we did not check that box until, yes, you come to the training, you earned your stripes and you can have this. So that will depend on what your district says about that.
I don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah, so don't check that box for right now until you find out for sure later on from somebody.
Okay, and where it says relationship, drop down, there's nothing there, so I don't notice.
Those are code tables that'll be built in demographics and they're not built right now. But normally you'd have mother, father, aunt, uncle. Yeah, yeah. And so you would put that information in there. But with no table there, it's not gonna have that information. Yeah, you can't put that information in.
So should I just save, and how can I save right here and be done with this?
Just go to save.
Sorry, I see.
So my new student is in here.
Mhm.
Hey, but they're talking about
It
master
is,
scheduling.
mhm. And this is where it's, oh, sorry, this is where it's gonna put in the family and everything, and you can just go to finish, and it'll be finished and done there. And if you had emergency contacts, it would take you to emergency contacts and it would keep going and going from there.
Okay, one last thing,
Mhm.
I did not put in his middle name, just because I didn't.
Mhm.
So how do I get back into the edit in my students?
Click on edit on general profile. So you're on the general and the profile and click on edit.
Oh, okay. Lord, that's a,
You
It'll
can
take us a
even,
long time to figure this out.
yeah, you can even clean that up. And generally, this is done in the demographics training, and so it's really not usually done in the future scheduling training. And we get a lot more time to spend there. But this is where you can come in there and add that name in and everything. And somebody asked yesterday, what happens if the name changes? So this John Apko, he's a foster kid or something. We would get that a lot. I'm a foster kid and I get to get my new name today. So he's gonna go to Timothy Smith. So it's gonna automatically change once you go put in that Timothy Smith. You edit that name where you're editing right now. You put in Smith and Timothy, and it's automatically gonna go put him the new name key out there, Timothy Smith, and John Apko is no more. It will show up on history because it tracks the history of everything, and it will say you went in and changed that name. If you go to, go ahead and save that, and if,
I guess I did.
okay, so, you're on the general profile.
Uh-huh.
If you come down here, change history, right there underneath that, it's gonna show the changes that you made. So this kid was added, full name, and then the student reference ID. So you should see there that you made a change and added that middle name in. And it'll have your name out there by it. It tracks every single thing. If you scroll over,
If where the, it did show where I put his middle name.
it's got, let's see, middle name and you scroll, okay, so it doesn't show.
Oh, wait, there it is, okay.
New value is rolling, old value over there was blank, current value is blank, and keep scrolling over, and it'll show that you did it over there.
Okay, what if I don't want to show my name?
You don't have a choice. So when,
Actually, it tracks every transaction.
It does.
And so that means if Mr. Pig goes in there and changes something, it's gonna show.
yes, it does.
It tracks.
And that's why when you go change everybody's address, you can't say, I did not do that, because you did.
I did not know I was doing that.
There you go. I was doing that.
Okay,
Yes.
so I can click exit and he's gonna stay and I go back and.
Yes.
Later. Okay.
And it will even tell how you did it. If you did it with a utility, it's gonna say you did it with the mass change utility.
Okay.
And it will go and tell how you did it so you know how you did it. Because you could say, I did not do that. Yeah, you ran this mesh utility over here and it did that. Okay. This is my water, right? That I just sit there in front of you. Okay. Okay, so they're all enrollment people. Are y'all the only future scheduling people right here? Or did some of the others, their future scheduling?
We had some that had to leave.
Okay,
She's with Mount Juliet Middle School.
oh, one of Beverly's people?
No,
No, okay. Oh, middle school.
middle school.
She's high school.
They're with West Wilson, and
Okay.
this is Watertown.
Okay, well, I appreciate y'all staying with and hanging with stuff, because most of what I've showed is stuff that will be relevant to y'all too, and I know you're on overload, and you're like, I don't remember the first thing you said about anything there. Are y'all enrollment people? Oh, then I'm cutting y'all this too, y'all can go too. So as far as future scheduling goes,
You guys need to probably stay.
we have an hour and a half, and because y'all are middle school, you're not quite like high school, and it's not so pressing that we get so much done, and y'all don't have so much to do either, because y'all aren't gonna let your kids sign up for courses online, right? They don't get to pick their courses they take or anything like that. So, and Susan does have, the training agenda that I use. I just have to figure out where I put it. I have my, well, outline of steps and everything with screenshots. I wish I could take credit for it, but Norma is wonderful, and so it's like teaching. I was an exemplary teacher because I stole from everybody I saw. I like what you're doing, I'm gonna do that too. And, that's what we do at Skyward, and that's what you guys do with each other too. When you find something that helps, do it, and help others. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
So for future scheduling, we're gonna go to office.
Oh, okay.
And that was something that I did not point out, with them before. Every single thing in Skyward is run off of menu paths. So when you look up here at the top, you see letters, and I know Stan was trying to go there, I thought, I'm gonna go back there in a minute, and I never did. Everything in Skyward is run off of letters. WS, Web Student is probably all you have access to, and that's the student management system. The other options are family access, web access, and teacher access. So you're not really gonna have access unless you have kids, then you'd be family access. But while you're at work, generally, you're not gonna have anything but Web Student. ST, this means I'm on the student tab, and you can even see tab because it's even the tabs. GE is the general one here. Let's go ahead and go to Office because the tabs are a little bit easier, the menu's a little bit easier to read there. Office, yours may look like this and may be closed up. That's what I found this morning with the people. So if yours is closed up like that, just click the triangle. Skyward hides everything in triangles. And if you can't find what you're looking for, we get service calls all the time. My teachers used to be able to, did you click the triangle? No? Okay. So click the triangle. They're well hidden. You don't see them there. And then under that, we're gonna go to Build Course Master.
Oh, wait.
Uh-huh.
I don't even have anything on my, under student management.
Oh, we're at Office. You have Office?
Yeah, oh,
Okay,
sorry.
that's okay. I was probably going really fast.
But that's all I should have, it's just those 3 minutes.
Oops, and see, your triangle right there? And, I do forget about them being closed up because I keep mine open all the time. So this morning, everybody was doing the same thing. Wait a minute, I don't have any of that. Oh, yeah, because they're all closed up right now. So Build Course Master and Course Master. Course Master is your list of courses. It's all the courses you have. Right now, you only have courses. You don't have any sections out there. But we can look up here at the top now and look at this menu tab, Web Student, because you're in the Web Student part. Office, because you clicked the Office tab up here. It's even dark colored to show. You click the Office tab. Are you there? No, okay.
It made me log out.
Oh, I bet, are you in Firefox?
I moved back to Internet Explorer.
Okay. Oh, let's see.
I don't even have a Firefox open.
Yeah, click over there. Okay, click back on that one. Yeah, go to that right there. So so now you're logged in? Okay, so I'm fixing to walk you back exactly where we were, because I'm fixing to take everybody there again. Because I'm from Texas and we're fixing to do a bunch of stuff. So to get here, here's our menu path. The Web Student means we were in student side. Office means you click the Office button, and you can even see that it's purple up there. Future FS means you went down to the option of future scheduling. So Stan, click on Office right there, the Office button. And FS means that you came down to future scheduling. And underneath future scheduling, you went to the one that said Build Course Master. And it's got BC here and BC there. And then under Build Course Master, you went to Course Master, and it's got CM there. And then you're in the Course Master, which is where that other CM comes from. So your menu path shows up here at the top, and if you can't figure out what that's talking about, which normally we're not supposed to send out menu paths because newer people don't know what we're doing. But it's a whole lot easier to type that out than it is to type all those words out. So sometimes you will get that. The email I sent Susan the other day, I put the menu path on there because poor Stan, I talked to him way too long and I didn't have time to type it anymore. So you got the menu path there. So you can click on Office and then you can see those letters out here beside it. And it does tell you where you need to go as you follow those pieces there. So go ahead and click over here. And these are all of our courses. Again, you'll see the triangles. because I can click there to expand the triangle. And this is my information there. Go ahead and close that right now, Stan. Because Kevin taught both me and Renee something yesterday, Renee and I, because neither of us knew. If you click right here, the short description, or yeah, that, it opens it up there too.
Okay, I'm from West Wilson Middle,
Uh-huh.
and on my screen, I have 20. On Stan's screen, he has a whole lot more than 20.
Very excellent, great, wonderful question. Because if I look down here at the bottom, I get to pick how many I want to see. Stan's got 100.
Don't pick
shown.
1,000.
Do not pick 1,000, but I have learned now how to fix 1,000. And it doesn't have to go to programming anymore, even though it used to. But yes, the more you have showing here, the more it's going to slow down the system. And that's why don't pick 1,000, because it will run and run and run and run and time out before you get all of them put up over there. So don't pick 1,000. You can see everything you need to see from this screen here about this course. I personally, and this is a personal preference, Skyward's like algebra. There's not just one way to do it. My daughter's teacher, we got a tutor, she still got F's because that's not the way I said to do it. Wrong attitude, wrong answer. Because Skyward is just like algebra. There are many ways to do it. You can look at the information here. I like to look at it over here in Edit Course. So I click on Edit Course, and I see the same information there that you're seeing. Your course key, this is your course number. Most people are not course number people. Most people I've found, go by the description over here. Susan is aware that these descriptions are not helpful because that doesn't tell me what that class is. These came, I think, from your old system. And so Susan is going in to change these. And as we found out today, Stan, earlier, if you click right here after the F and just keep typing a bunch of Fs after that, you can make that substantially longer than it is. So Susan is going in there to fix those and put one F because it did have one. Okay. And she is going and fixing those. Y'all don't have the ability to do that because it's based on security, and she is going to go and take care of those. But that is going to get taken care of for you. And we're kind of skipping some of the steps that would be gone through because they're not things that would apply to you this year or right now. So we are actually skipping the clone because y'all are already set up in 2015-16, and we don't have to get those done. We can always come in and fix any information over there that's not right later. So step 1, we're skipping over that. Step 2, normally in future scheduling, y'all have 8th grade kids that need to move to the high school. Normally you would go through and add those students to the high school also. And that would be under one of the utilities. Somebody would do that. Also, I did not point that out in the morning. Once you've gone through and done that and got that run it the first time, you can go schedule that task so that every Friday, any new 8th grade students that come in, it automatically adds them up to the high school, or every day, whatever you want to do with that.
Could we do that to all the elementary schools where
You
they,
do the elementary
where they
schools
bump it up
also.
to the middle schools?
Absolutely. So that's something we can talk to Susan about, automatically running that to send those kids up there every week and just get that via scheduled task. So normally in future scheduling, let's go ahead and back out of this real quick. And back out of that screen there. And there's that close without saving button that it just said, wait a minute, you made changes, didn't you want to save it? No, we said no, we didn't want to. If we go over here to students, and students, this is product setup, even though it only says setup, this is referred to as product setup and utilities. Mass add students to an entity is the utility you would use for that. Not everybody may have this, because to have this, you have to have level 5 security. All utilities are a level 5 because they are a mass. It's affecting everybody. But this is the utility that we would come in there and run. So in this one, I would click on add, 8th grade, the high school. And then I would be able to go and run that.
Can I run that just for my school?
Yes, you'd be running it just for your school.
But like right now, I don't have access.
Right, you don't have access to it. But, and you'll notice over here, it has a preview and a run mode. We get a whole lot of calls on this because people say, I did it and nobody moved. Because you did it in preview. And I highly, highly, highly recommend running it in preview first. You get the kids you want, then you can go do it and run. I worked with a guy one day. Oh, and I know why y'all can't do it. Because they don't have the 14-15 school year. Yeah. I did it with a guy one day. I said, let's do preview. He says, I never do preview. Let's do it. We did it, and those are not the kids he wanted to send. So then we had to go do the other utility mass elite students. So run it in preview first when you can do that. But go ahead and save so that we save that template. I just backed out of it because we really don't even have anything there. And back again. But that's the utility that you would run, and it has to be run from the 8th grade because you'll send them to the high school. 6th grade because they're sending them to you. The high school can't run that to get the kids. Y'all have to do that for them because they can't do it.
So that would be the same as what we have now that's mass assigning.
Probably so, yeah. And I'm not gonna run through the template, but I do tell people when you're doing the mass add students to an entity, get the SkyDoc for it and walk you through step by step on that. So now let's go ahead and go back to Office and future scheduling, build course master, because that is the next step of everything that we have for scheduling. And that is to clean up the course master. So I like to come in at the edit course. And over here, I can look at this class and see that this is an Algebra 1 class. It's a year-long class. Well, that's only supposed to be a semester class. Okay, then I need to come in here and change that to a semester class if that's the case. This is the cleanup that needs to be done before we come back to do the scheduling part, anything like that. We're not teaching Algebra 1 anymore at the middle school.
That's important. What she just said now, that's what you need to do between now and the next time you come here.
Yes.
So
Let's get this
again,
stuff cleaned up.
so again, if you want to look where you're going, you can look up here and see that it's the web, what'd you call it?
Web student,
Web student, Office,
future scheduling,
future scheduling, something.
build course master.
Course master, then course master.
And the course master is where all of your courses are, and future scheduling course master. And right now, that's the only course master that you have access to. So making sure that all of this is done correctly is gonna be what's important to doing our scheduling out there. Next thing, we're not gonna be teaching Algebra 1 at the middle school anymore. Don't delete that course, because maybe y'all decide the next year you're going to. If you delete it, you gotta go build it again. If you make it inactive, then you can always come back and use it again if you decide you're gonna use it again. So if you find a class you're not gonna use, make it inactive. Elective or required. Is it a required course or is it an elective course? That matters to the scheduler. Required courses are automatic priority of 5, electives are below 5. So it's gonna look at your required classes first. Next is your category. So if we click on category, most of your classes will be regular. If you schedule your lunches, then you also put in a course and mark it as a lunch. If you schedule your study halls.
Good afternoon, Allison. Here are your bus changes for today. Bus 1213 is being replaced with 46 and 2125. And bus 2519 is being replaced with 2908. That's all we got for you today. Have a good night.
So if you schedule your study halls, you come in here, you make a class called study hall, and you mark it as a study hall. then we can use a study hall scheduler later on to go through and schedule that lunch course, schedule that study hall course. We can say schedule lunch, and it goes through and says, boom, blank period, there's your lunch. Schedule study hall. Any blank period you have, it goes through and says, okay, there's your study hall period there. So it's important that those classes are marked that way. Transfer course, not so much necessarily with middle school, I don't think. But in high school, if you have a class that gets credit, that you took basket weaving and we don't offer basket weaving, you got 1 credit, it's a transfer course. And then you got your waiver courses too that y'all really probably don't use. Schedule time. If you have classes that have to be scheduled by you, for example, varsity basketball, you gotta pick who goes into varsity basketball. You don't want the scheduler to pick that. I would set my varsity basketball courses as manually scheduled, because I don't want the scheduler deciding who gets varsity basketball. In Texas, we're way too big on our varsity football to let the scheduler pick those teams for us, so yeah. If it's a special ed course, clearly you don't want special ed courses assigned out to regular students. Make sure it's marked as a special ed course. I don't know anybody that used drop course, but you can also use a drop course if you weren't gonna use it anymore. Most people just mark it as inactive. Scheduling priority. People rarely ever do anything with the scheduling priority. Technically, that is what the scheduler looks at first. So I had a guy who really wanted these classes to get scheduled first. He used priority. Most people do not. If you do not put in priority, then the scheduler looks at requiring elective, because that's where it's getting its priority from. If you have classes that are priority, that needs to be set. Grading system, that's almost always average. But you can, if you're using a cumulative grading or non-grading, you can put that in. That's mostly for reporting purposes. Grading type, again, mostly for reporting purposes. Do y'all use team scheduling at the middle school? Okay, so this is where you would set up your team scheduling. And if it's mandatory that they get that scheduling team, then you would mark it as mandatory over here. If we use the team scheduling priority, if at all possible, then we keep it as if at all possible. So here's where you go and set that team scheduling. In my opinion, team scheduling is mandatory, I mean, there's no if feasible, if possible. They've got to be doing that. So you'll want to make sure that that's done. Looking at that, I think it's very possible that you could have to be going in and touching every single course and fixing every one of them. No, we don't do that in skyward. If you've got to do it to a bunch of them, we use that mass. At the same time, when you see that word mass, be a little bit afraid, because it's something that's going to be doing it to a mass. So we'll come in and look at that and what we can do there with that. I don't know anybody who uses website address or display or anything like that, and a lot of us have played with it to try to figure out exactly what it does, and I can honestly say nobody's been able to figure that out either. Do y'all use GPA? I didn't think so. It's all, even in elementary courses, you don't have to have GPA on there. It's automatically done. You can't take it off of there. So if you wanted, to look at that, see if there are any credits, you can. You can put the subject in there, the type, the department that it goes with. So like this could be a math department. Maybe we don't have any departments set up yet, okay. Activity link, if you have it attached to an activity, so let's say that all your mathletes were in Algebra 1, you could tie it to an activity link so that anybody who's scheduled in Algebra 1 is automatically on the Math Links team, and it automatically takes that roster and builds it over there on your activity section. If you need it attached to something on a report card, so that Algebra 1 goes with Math 1, and all of those go together as a report card group, then you could create a report card group out there. And lot group, I still have to go back and see what lot groups are again. I do know that y'all don't have either the report groups or the lot groups set up out there. But if this class needed to be on the report card with Math 1, and you wanted all of that to come out on the report card on the same line, then you would set up a report card group out there. Do y'all have any classes like that they have to go together on the same line as, like PE Health is generally the ones you see over there, so they come together on the same line. You'll notice that these fields are blue. Blue fields, purple fields cannot be typed in. These are coming from other information. As you get requests in there, this is gonna change. Right now, there's 0 requests, so you can't see any requests there. Maximum seats available is at 0. As you set up each section, you're gonna be telling it how many can be in that class. So you have one section, maximum 35, it's gonna automatically come in here, maximum seats available, 35. Estimated number of sections, we can go run a utility that will look at how many requests you have. We have 150 requests for Algebra 1. We have one section with 35 seats. We can go run that utility and it will come in here and say, based on what you've got out there, you're gonna need to have, I'm not math algebra 1 person, I need your daughter here right now. I got 150 signed up, I have 35, I'm gonna need 3 sections? 4? Oh, math guy, thank you. So it's gonna tell me you need 4 sections of this. Well, we're only offering it one time. So that automatically lets me know, I get course requests that I've gotta deal with and do something with, or we gotta hire more teachers for this over here. So I already see potential problems. Most important, grade ranges. If 7th graders can take this class, they're not gonna be able to get in there and take it because, and that's mostly for course requests because it's where they can do it online because it's not letting them, it's not set up for 7th graders to take it. So you need to be sure your grade ranges are set correctly so that if this is 8th graders only, it's set 8 to 8. If it's a 7th or 8th grader class, it needs to be set that way. Do you have fees for this class? You can put your fees in there. I don't think they'll use academic hours or earned credits. Does the class keep attendance? Is it a graded course? This is where your grade book and your teachers being able to take attendance comes from. They can't take attendance, that's not checked there. So while you're cleaning, check for those things too. So, and we're gonna allow teacher conferences for it, we can do that too. The next thing is our section defaults down here.
Can you tell them about teacher conferences?
I can tell you about teacher conferences, yes, because I love that. We did not use that in my district, and we had those teacher conference days. We use the system, if everybody bring me your folder and I get all the notes out there, who signed up for a conference. Okay, your mom got the 8 o'clock conference. Oh, your mom wanted the 8 o'clock conference? Well, I did her paper first, so now you get the 9 o'clock conference. And, you know, not very effective really. When you've got that allow teacher conferences set up, they can go into family access after you built the conference schedule out there, and they can go sign up for the conferences. So his mom gets in first, signs up for the 8 o'clock conference, she gets it. Her mom comes in next, you know, 8 o'clock conference is already gone. You got to do the 9 o'clock one for it. Also, when you have the conference scheduler set up, parent calls in, I want a conference with Mrs. Dealey today. Okay, let me check on that first. Ms. Dealey, his mom wants a conference today. Oh, no way, huh? She's already got an appointment today. I'll have to see about getting you set for another day. And so you can get the teacher conferences set up. But checking that box right there does allow you to be able to do the teacher conference signups in there. So I love that box. Down here on our section defaults, you'll see that we can come in here and tell it what do we want to do. Just like I was telling the people for that entry record, what do you want it to put in there automatically? When you come in to make a section, what do you want it to automatically put in there? Right now it's automatically going to put in calendar 033. That's the only calendar you have, so it needs to. Minimum number of students, it's going to put in 15. Optimum number of students, 30. Maximum number of students, 30. Well, that's not right. Then change it. Fix it over here on the section default for that. So what should it be?
35.
35 for maximum? Okay, so make that number 35 maximum. And now, whenever I go to, and we didn't get this done in the earlier section, when I go to save and add section, here's where I'm adding in that section for this. So you'll notice it automatically put in that calendar for me. It automatically put in those numbers for me. Oh, this one right here, the maximum, this one is actually 40. Okay, I can go change that, but it put it in there for me. Next thing, very, very, very important that we do need to go set up for both the schools before we leave today. If you have sheets there, even though you put that as graded course, the teachers will not have a grade. They'll have a grade book, but those grades will not post because it's expecting that your grades are going to be done on a grade sheet. And same thing for attendance. They won't be able to do their attendance because it's set for sheets. So both of those need to be mixed. I can go in and set that so that it's not going to be that way whenever we add sections. And the one thing that just really gets me on this is the one required field that you've gotta have is up here in the top where I can't ever see it up there. And that's my section number. So I can put in section number 101. And then we have 3 things that make a class in Skyward. The first is your course. You gotta have a course. I'm taking algebra. Okay, how many people do you have that teach algebra? One person teaches algebra. How many times a day does she teach algebra? 4 times. So I'm gonna have 4 sections because she's gonna need to have 4 classes. So one person teaching all 4 sections, or it could, in the high school, be 4 different people maybe teaching it. So here's section 1. I'm gonna need to come in and make section 2, section 3, section 4. Each section has to have a teacher assigned to it. The teacher is assigned on the meet. So now we come over and do save and add meet, and before I jump there, notice there is a Tennessee button because there are Tennessee specific fields that need to be added to the sections. And I don't know those Tennessee specific fields since I'm in Texas, but if you look there at those are the different things, the different bits of information that go create that section out there.
So the service district ID would be 950, and then your school ID would be 32 is yours. And then just go down there, fill that out.
And I'm pretty sure that we can do that in the mass change course master fields even. So I think we can go in and add those there on that one. And in this assigned seats, I don't know anybody that ever picks that because that means you're gonna go assign seats out to the students. You're not gonna do that. So now we go to save and add meet. And this is where we come in and add our meet. So I see that y'all are on a 2-day rotation because it's got 2 days here. Does it meet on both days? Meets both days, A day and B day, okay? So we would check both boxes right there. I'm looking at your start and stop terms. This is a year-long class. I would expect to see that it goes term 1 to term 4, term 1 to term 4. Now, over here is where I would check the display period, scheduling period, and attendance period. So generally, these are all gonna be the same. But we did see in the high school where they're doing block things, that it might not necessarily all be the same. So if this is first period, I'd come in here and put 01 for the period.
You want me to do that?
Yeah. And then the scheduling period, and usually it does go ahead and change all of that for you. It goes ahead and updates those. I can come in here and put in my building, and I have found that some of the people were already connected to rooms. Come over here and let's pick a room and see.
Would you put Mount Jerry middle for me?
Sorry.
Go up the top scene.
Look there.
Okay, let's try our rooms and see what we get.
02. 102.
Okay, we didn't get the teacher that pulled in there for that. And I don't know,
Who?
Baker.
so now we've already got a meet set up here for this teacher. This teacher is the primary, and we have to have the primary teacher. And, we can come in and say, do we want this to show on student schedules? Yes. And, allow EA plus access in grade book that allows them to be able to get in the grade book. So, I can go ahead and save this, and I've got that meet created there for this teacher. Now, let's say that, there's a student teacher or a co-teacher or a long-term sub because maybe Janet Baker is out for maternity leave or something like that. I can come in and add another meet here to this. And this time I can put in the person and make them the alternate teacher. And that will still give them access to a grade book. They can still go in there and put grades, but they can't make major changes to it because they're not the primary teacher on that. So they can do grades or anything like that. Now, I do also know from different state reporting aspects, for example, in Pennsylvania, they have to go in there and mark, scroll down their stand, because I bet y'all do too. Nope. In Texas and in Pennsylvania, where we had that Tennessee over here, we have another one that comes up down here at the bottom where we have to go mark things like that. And I took a call from Pennsylvania, and they had to go in and mark the alternate teachers a different way. So it could be possible, you know, that if you added an alternate, you would need to do something for state reporting with that.
So they would do that for all the pregnant teachers at
Well, right
their
now,
school?
what we do is we enter we put the new teacher in,
Mhm.
and then we change the order, so we have to, the first order, the teacher that's first is the teacher of record at that
Mhm.
time, and we have to put end dates and start dates.
And yes, because I did take a Tennessee call the other day with that. Go back up there.
I think it has to do with state reporting, the way.
It does have to do with state reporting, and y'all do have to have all three of them out there. Back out of that screen over there, Stan, and, yeah, close that one. But I do know, and I know that you can look at the state reporting document, because that's what I did there with that one, and it does show you what to do in those situations, but you do put the teacher in, and you do have to go through and mark on that other part over there, if you remember that one. So we have that we can do, but I will say that once you get your course request in, I would work on getting your course request in, because you can make these sections and these meets with a utility, and you don't have, and that's why I didn't do it with our elementary people this morning. I wanted to, that was for wanting to go, is to get to building those sections. But we can go through and do a utility that will look at your request you have out there. We'll put in those sections, and it'll say you got 150 kids, one section, you really need to have 4 sections here. So then we could go in there and say, okay, build 4 sections, or we can say, like Ashley was talking about weightlifting class, 300 requests, we're only doing 1 section. So I go in and change that estimated section to 1, and it's only gonna build 1, and it's gonna ignore what it had there for it. But, so based on that, and like I told Stan in the first day, we never go into any place where they have no sections or anything out there. They've always got that information built out there for them. And in y'all's case, I would not spend the time going in here and adding each section over here for this. I would just go through and let the utility go through there and make your sections and everything for you. So that's kind of where I'm planning on moving with it. And if we don't have all the sections and everything built already, we can do that during scheduling time and go build those sections out there at that time. And just because it takes a minute and a half, 2 minutes for that utility to run.
Utility is a lot easier, I'm
Oh,
telling you.
yes. Yes.
So we're gonna put a course request before we even build our schedule.
Yes,
So that's different too, right?
yes.
Yeah, you go in and put those course requests in there, and once you've got the course requests in there, everything bounces off those course requests from that point. And so that's where you go out there and say, and I've had people say, I'm not gonna run that estimated number of sections because I already know how many we're gonna have. But if you go ahead and run it now, you can see what problems you're gonna run into later. because I got 300 people wanting one weightlifting class. Then you're gonna have to go deal with that, or you're gonna have 270 conflicts on that. So it gives you a great way to go look at those problems you're gonna ultimately have. Did you have a question? Okay. So, I'm gonna leave this one here because we've got it built. And whenever we go in and it looks at the sections, it's gonna go build however many more we needed. Yesterday, one of the high schools needed 14. I think we had 4 out there, so it went and built 10, it went and built 10 more for us.
When I just tried to build one, it tells me a warning that the course has a schedule priority of 9, but does not have a team schedule.
Okay, because and we have not gotten anything done on the teams and built any teams or anything yet. So, yeah, let's go ahead and keep moving through that. Because we do have the course master, we know what needs to be cleaned up in the course master and everything. So, the next thing that we're gonna do is our mass add change delete course mass change course master fields. And that's where we can go in and put that scheduling team priority on everything there for those classes if we need to have that done. So we don't have to open up every single class and edit that on every single one of them. So we come to Office. And again, we're in future scheduling. We're still working with the course master because we're gonna mass change course master fields, but it's a utility. All the utilities are under setup and utilities. And when we come in here, we find the one, it's about midway down, mass change course master fields. And right underneath that, see the auto-generate sections and class meets? That's the one we're gonna use that goes out there and builds all those sections for you. So we click on add.
Can you go over that straight to get to that office?
I think, yeah, it's gonna make you back out of that one. Office, future scheduling, build course master, setup, and it's PS, product setup, whenever you look at the menu path up there, and utilities. All the utilities are always located on the setup button. Do you have them? And you may not have,
Setup button?
huh?
I hit the setup button?
Yeah, the setup. Okay, and all the utilities are always there on the setup button. You have to have level 5 security to be able to get the utilities, and it's because it is a mass. And then it's mass change course master fields. We come over here and click on add. And as I was saying earlier, mass change should strike a little bit of fear in you whenever you hear that, because you are going out and changing all of it. But when you see the word over here, save and process, instead of save and run, that save and process is your best friend, because it means that I get a chance to stop and think about it first. When it says save and run, it's going and doing. The save and process is going to allow you to stop and look. So we come over here for a template description, and let's call this one team scheduling, because I want to change my team scheduling. Now, I tell people, when you are doing a mass change utility, always come in and do a new utility. Always come in and click on new and do a new one. Don't come in and edit an old one, because you may have changed more stuff in there than you thought you did. I'm calling this one team scheduling, but maybe we're also changing the status, or maybe we're changing other things that you don't remember you did with that. So always do a new one. Now here's where we can pick our course ranges. And from here, I can go for a range, or I can pick individual courses. All of your courses need to have team scheduling and do that high priority, or not all of them? Are all of your courses team scheduled?
Are all your courses
yes.
team scheduled?
Every,
Not exploratory.
Just 6th grade,
just 6th grade? Okay,
but not exploratories.
not exploratory.
6th grade is our only teams.
6th grade, you're only team? Okay,
We have all teams.
okay. So,
Can we switch over to her school?
okay, how many exploratories do you have? More than 10?
No.
Each section.
No, just the course.
Oh, not more than, I wouldn't have more than
It's about 10.
About 10. I think if we could just take it off of the update, you know what I mean? Remove from update. Yeah, I think it would be easier to do that. Here's your options here. If it's going to be a few, I could pick individual and just pick those individual courses that I want to pick. You'll notice there's no select all or select, you've got to go through and click. That's why I say if you're taking 10 off, we're going to be better off doing the 10 later on. So back out of that one. You know how I feel about that X stand.
I know, I was testing you.
Did you know I'll say, yeah, click the X too. So I would go ahead and do range. And for you, since it's gonna be everything except the exploratories, right? And you just have a few exploratories,
I'll take probably 10, like
Yeah.
you said.
I would just leave your ranges wide open here. For you, yours are only 6th grade kids, right? So over here where you've got grade, I would put in just 6th grade, because that's the range we're looking for, 6th grade, low and high. Do you have 6th grade kids at your campus? Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and do it that way, for you. And that's why I say always come in and do a new template, because you may think we went and did it on all of them, so you go in and do it again, but no, we really just did the 6th grade kids. And so then you don't get the results you're expecting. I could put in specific sections.
So where it says low and high, I can put 6th grade, and then high, I can put 8th grade?
Yeah, you could put high 8th grade on yours, yeah. Mhm. And, we can come in here and do scheduling priority, but this is where we're setting up the ranges. This is where I'm telling it what do I want it to look like all the blonde-haired people. Okay, well, then you'd be the only one I'm looking at here when we're all over and done with. So that's basically what I'm doing here is what am I looking for here? I'm not making any changes anywhere yet. So we're gonna go ahead and leave this as all the courses. We're gonna do it 6th grade, because we're at your school, right? Oh, yeah, this is perfect then. And then, we're gonna save those ranges. And, look, as an afterthought, yes, I'll make sure I have the right school year there. And so now when I come in here on the mass change, anytime you have a mass change, most important thing to look for, current value, new value. When you see those two words, you are making actual changes. People will go put stuff they're looking for here thinking that they're still doing the ranges. So they'll put in, grade, 6th grade over here. Well, you just changed everything to 6th grade. Because these are the changes you're making. The range screen was where we said 6th grade. Now is the changes we're making. And we are wanting to change team scheduling. Oh, come on, you've got to be here. Yeah, no, team scheduling priority, yes, that's the number we wanted to change to mandatory. Current value is 0. We want to change it to 9 mandatory. So that's where I have to really focus on what is the current value. Current value is 0. And make it mandatory. Could there be some classes in there that have something on them already? Could be, I don't know for sure. So over here where we've got team scheduling priority stand, what am I gonna tell you to do with that?
Put a Z,
Not
No.
Z this time,
a 9?
asterisk.
Asterisk, that's it, yeah.
Asterisk means any value at all. And and it really depends on the program owner. In some of them, the program owner wants all asterisks. Some of them, they just want one. So I tell everybody, fill it all up with asterisks. And it will come back and let you know, I'm gonna use one. So I go ahead and put in all asterisks there. And what that means, okay, I only took one, is whatever you have there, if it's already set to if feasible, if possible, or 0, no matter what it has there, it's gonna change it to mandatory. And so that way I can get it done and make sure they all get changed. If I only want the zeros changed, I could leave it 0. But I want whatever it is set to mandatory. Okay, so anything else we need to change here? I think that's all we want to change. I think we're good with that. We could change the course status. I could go in here and tell it to change everything to inactive. So in that case, it would also, whatever I put in here, that's what it's gonna change. Again, that's why I say, don't go and use one you've already used before, because maybe after I got in here, I thought, oh, let's go change it over there from elective to required to. And maybe I made other changes I didn't think about. So go ahead and scroll up, Stan. But I could also come in and change anything on the sections. Let me see if the Tennessee part, scheduling teams right here. Click on scheduling teams there and see if it's got, those are your scheduling teams? Okay, so select all of those, because I think that is what it was telling you. Wait a minute, that's the current value though.
How do you,
Back out of that one. And make the new value all of those.
We only do 6th grade.
Okay, so only the 6th grade ones on yours. So you just want your 6th grade teams for your 6th grade ones, 7th grade team for your 7th grade ones. Then you may want to go up there and run yours just 6th grade then. And see what I'm saying? And then just pick your 6th grade ones. So you may want to name your template 6th grade scheduling teams up there at the very, very top. So save that, and we'll change ours to that too. Yeah, save that one. And call that 6th grade team scheduling. And that way you know that's just your 6th grade one. You can go clone this. Wait a minute.
you're cloning different
Courses,
Different
now I'm gonna
courses.
be putting that on all the courses too,
yeah,
yeah.
you can't.
Mhm.
And
No,
then I said set up teachers, we're gonna set up teachers to what team they're gonna be on, correct?
yeah. Okay, for right now, scroll, go to our scheduling teams and take those off for right now. We don't even have any sections anyway, that's on the section part, so it's not gonna do anything on that anyway. And take all of that off of there, yeah.
We just hit the back button, will it make all that go away?
Yeah, hit the back button and don't save any of that, and it'll take that off of there for you. So,
It didn't take it off.
hit it again. And yeah, take all those out of there, and now do save on that one, because you do have to save where you did that. But if you're backing out of the whole entire thing, yeah, you can do that. Okay, so let's scroll back up again. Let me think about what we've got going on for sure. Our course ranges, hit our course ranges up there, because that's what I got to thinking about. Do your 6th grade course keys have a certain number at the beginning? Because this would work okay for yours. For yours, it's gonna be fine, because you're assigning the mandatory for all of yours. You're only assigning the mandatory for your 6th grade courses. So, that's where I was like, oh, wait a minute, because we've gotta pick the individual courses there for yours that are those 6th grade ones. And yours, though, you can go run it for all of them, because you're assigning the team for everybody, right? Okay, I wanna go over to her entity then. And,
Have to back out of this.
yeah, just back and close without saving there. Okay, then back out of that one. But once you know what those 6th grade courses are, then you'll even be able to not do the exploratory ones.
Yeah.
And you can go in there and pick just those specific courses on that one and do what we're doing right here. And what about y'all? How do y'all do it? for scheduling teams?
Do y'all have teams?
We have one team per grade, so.
One team
all
per
eight-
grade?
We will have eight grade out of one, so we only change from this year.
So y'all aren't gonna have a lot to, algebra one's the only thing that, okay, yeah. So this really doesn't apply to y'all then. Okay, mass change course master fields, but you'll be able to see how it does work here. Okay, so add that now, and we're just gonna call it scheduling teams. And we're not gonna try to do everything here on this one utility there. We're gonna keep our course ranges. Yeah, go ahead and click course ranges. And all of your courses need to have scheduling mandatories, scheduling team mandatories. That's all we're gonna do with this one. So save that. And then over here for our scheduling priority, we're gonna say whatever priority they have right now on the team scheduling priority, put that one down. Whatever they have right now, asterisk,
Sorry.
that's okay, change it to 9. Because every class in your course master needs to be, except the exploratory ones, and we'll take those off whenever we come through. Now, this is where I say the saving process is your friend. Right now, all we're gonna work on with this one is the scheduling team priority. We could even put scheduling team priority right there. And save and process, because it says save and process, we're getting this screen right here. And once it goes through everything, it's gonna say, this is what I'm planning on doing. And if we don't like what we see there, we can say, nope, 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 stop, we're not doing that. So we preview data to process. And it's got all of these courses over here. When we scroll over, it shows us, okay, so see, this is one of your exploratory ones. You don't want it included, so we say remove that one. Remove that one. This one should be okay?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, we'll scroll back over and see what it is, and we only get the course key over there for it.
It's on.
Yeah,
Stan, is Susan gonna populate the names like how we had them in SMS?
she's changing the names of things. I know she's doing that. But we can come over here and remove these from, the update, and so that way it won't go through and update these. And we won't go through and actually do it now, Stan, since we don't have the names on anything yet. So go ahead and click the back, wait a minute, no, don't do that yet, keep scrolling over. Because the thing I like most about this utility is it shows you, this one did have 0, and I'm fixing to change it to 9. So if I go back and look at that class, it's like, oh, wait a minute, no, not that one. I can come and remove it from the update. So go ahead and back out of here. So if I wanted to run the update, which we're not going to since we didn't get them all done, I click on run the update, and now it updates all those classes for me over there. And if I got a list like we would have gotten with yours because I didn't go in there and fix the courses, I said, oh, no, I don't want all of it, just the 6th grade courses to do it. Then I just back out of that, hit the back button, and it didn't do anything because I never told it to go ahead and process that. And so that's why I like this utility, because now I can come in and click edit and go in and edit that information and fix it to be the way I want to with it. And it will go through and do those things very, very quickly. Stan, click that one to share so that way you'll be able to see it in yours now that it's shared. And you can go and run that one or clone it in, and you'll be able to see the information on there.
It's safe.
Yes, save. And so now that one should show up if you go into yours, that you'll be able to see that one there, and then you can run it. 3 or 3:30?
I'm not sure. I thought it was.
I thought it was 3:30.
The email said 3:30.
3:30?
Okay, good, good.
Okay, then I need somebody to come run. Cause
Okay.
I've got to go.
Okay, who wants to drive for Stan? I've already taken him out of too many meetings today.
I can.
Come on, it's not a big deal.
You just have Suzanne yelling at you every now and then. Okay, so now that I don't have so many people, I gotta get names. What's your name? Lisa? Carmen? What? Robin Dayton. So Robin? Okay. Michael, Robin, Carmen, Lisa. Okay. So you can use this mass change course master field to go through and mass change anything in there. If you're gonna have to go through, like yesterday Susan was saying, in the high school, everything was set repeatable for credit. Where you could take that class again next year and the next year and get credit for it every year. You can't do that. So she was going through and each one of them, making a change there. And it's like, no, stop. You can use this utility and go make every single one of them say not repeatable for credit. Thank you, Stan.
No problem. Hey, it's nice working with you.
It's nice working with you.
We'll see you.
Bye. And, so this utility will let you go in so you don't have to hand change all of those things over there. So, okay, back out of that one. Two things I want to point out right here. Go to Office and down to Future Scheduling Course Master. And read it up a little bit. Under Bill Course Master and then Course Master. You've got two options for running reports because remember, I can always take this screen. Yep, my short description. Send it to an Excel spreadsheet, and now I've got a report on all of my courses. So I can go over there and see all of this information: scheduling type normal, scheduling priority 0, category regular, required, or elective. So I can see that information on all of them and see what I need to change on them. Without the long description right now, I know it doesn't help a whole lot there. So let's go into Office and go Course Master, Reports. And here we can print out a report. And this is what actually at the high school was using the other day. We come into our course report by course. And we do have a Skyward report here already. And I tell people when you've got one that's created by Skyward, go ahead and click on Clone. Because Clone is going to allow you to use the information that was on the Skyward template and make it your own. So we can put a name in there, Course Master. And I could share this with other users and they would all be able to see it, but I don't know that everybody else is going to want to see it or anything. We'll go ahead and keep it checked, but all of them that you put out there, you know, if you're a report addict person and you just like to go make reports for everything and you're doing 20, not everyone wants to see all those. Next thing, I got 14-15 school year because that's what Skyward had on the one they did. I need to change it so I can change it. And I've got my control set, semester 1, semester 2, and year. Do I use quarters? Anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, click on control sets. And if you've got quarter options, then it'll show up over there too. So if I only wanted to see my year-long classes, I could pick just years, only semester 1, so I can determine what I want to see there. Are you seeing quarter on yours? Okay, are they checked off there? Okay. So go ahead and click on save because we're going to run it for all of them. And we're going to go ahead and leave all of these ranges wide open, meaning that we're going to look for every single thing out there. We want to know whatever it has out there. And we could put in specific grades if I just wanted to see 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, put that in the high, the low. Have we talked about the Z's? Okay. Everything in Skyward is done with the Z's, meaning any single letter or number. I keep those because I may have to take those out. So if I'm looking for, say, in the high school, they have the CTE courses. So I only want to see those CTE courses. If I come in and put CTE, and let's say my courses are like CTE Cafe, CTE HVAC, CTE Nursing, CTE Plumbing, all of these things out there, and I only want to see those courses. Well, if I come in and put in CTE and CTE for my high and low, I'm not going to get anything because it's only looking for courses named CTE. The Z's represent any other letter or number in the alphabet. So what I need to do is put in CTE and CTE, Z, 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 Z out here. And then it's only going to pull the ones that start with CTE and any letter that they have after them over here. All of the searches in Skyward work this way, whether it's a name or whatever. So if I'm wanting to see A through J, because I'm the counselor that does A through J, I'm only going to get the kid whose name is J for the last name. I'm not going to get Johnson, Jones, Jiminy, anything like that, because I have to have the Z, 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 Z out there after it. So that's one of the things that people really get tricked up there on that. If I put in CTE to all Z's, then I'm not going to get my A's or my B's or anything that came up to CTE, but then I get CTE and the rest of the courses after that. So I would want to put something in here to let it know before all those Z's coming up out there. But we're just going to go ahead and leave it wide open because we want to see everything. Printing options. If we come and click the plus there and expand that part, we could look just for ones that keep attendance graded, but we're going to look at all. Everything we can see out there. Report format. First, we're going to go run one that's course. And we're just going to keep this course button checked right here. And our sort options, it's going to sort it by year and course. So take out year. And so now it's going to sort it by the course. And let's go ahead and scroll up and click on Save and Print. Now, one thing I didn't know in the district, I thought I had to sit here and wait until it got through printing. I can click on back because it's going to save it where? My print queue. I just go open up the print queue and I'm ready to look for it. So I need to go pick my kids up from PE and it's like, hurry, hurry, I'm waiting, I'm in trouble. No, just go back and come back and look at it later. So now let's come in and clone that. So click on clone, and we're going to clone our report. And call this one long description. And we're going to keep everything else the way we had it, but scroll down to our report format over here. And down here, user defined course report. And over here is where I get to pick the different things I want to see on this report. There's no reason for me to look at class meet fields. Why? I don't have any set up out there, so I'm not going to get anything there. But if I had them set up, I could. The course fields, these are all coming from the course master. So I could come in here and look for long description. So I can pick that long description right there. And I can have that print on there. And then I can decide what else do I want to see. Do I want to see the academic out? No. Activity? No. Category? Yeah, let's do that. And CHA instructional area. I don't know what that is. Okay. These are the defaults that are set up over there, the ones we can go in for what it's going to create on sections. So if I wanted to see what is it going to automatically put out there for those sections, I could come over here and let's do maximum number and minimum number. And But didn't get our minimum one, there we go. Number of days, number of periods, number of teachers, optimum number of students. Let's do optimum number also. And core academic, if we want to see if it's a core academic, we could pick that. Y'all don't have co-requisites where you have to be taking this to take that. Course group, course type, let's do both of those right there.
Course group and type.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could put in the department code, but we already saw that we didn't have any of those earned credits. Let's do elective and required. Exclude from rank. If y'all had fees and you wanted to see that, you could pick that out there. Let's do the grade range so we can make sure we've got those grade ranges set up right. We could, if we wanted to see to keep attendance and all of that and everything. Length, block group, block the scheduler. Number of actual sections, we know we don't have anything. So keep going down. Here's the one, that Susan was looking at, so she'd probably want to see. Let's see if it's got anything repeatable for credit. Probably not, because y'all don't give credit in the first place, but we'll see what it's got there. That report card group, if y'all use that. Do schedule type. I don't think anything's got a scheduling priority on it. Okay, let's do that team scheduling priority. And go back down. Let's do the other team's possible distribution. I don't think there's anything set up there for that, especially since we don't have any sections or anything on it. Okay, so scroll down again. So these are the different things that we're gonna see on our report. Go ahead and scroll back up. And that's what I asked for it on mine. Maybe you don't want all that on yours, but this is, you can pick. These are user defined. What do you want to see? I can also tell it, go ahead and put it out in Excel. This is one I can go ahead and send to Excel immediately if I wanted to do that with it. For right now, let's take that one out so I can see how it compares to the other report and click on save. And come down here to our sort options. And we've got the course right there, so that'll be good. So we can scroll up and save and print. And this time, click on my print queue, because while that's running, I want to come over here and see the first one that we did. And view, it's going to show us that second one already. So here's the second report that we did. Here's that course, the long description, the category, the class maximum, minimum, optimum. That's what's set up for the default. So I can look at that and say that's supposed to be 35. That needs to be 35. So I know things I need to go fix and change over there for that. I can see the core type, if it's elective or required, the grade ranges for it. Oh, maybe when I do this, I might want to sort by grade range if I can. So I can see that over there even. But I can get that information. That's the fields that we said, thank you, Michael, that we wanted to see there on that. So go ahead and X out of that one. And here is the first report that we did by course, where we didn't pick anything we wanted. Now let's click view on that one. And again, you can see where the information, it's got all of the information out there, just a different view of it. It's done by course. Does not have, it does have the long description there on that one. So we do have the long description there on that report. But I know Ashley had this printed off yesterday. 9 pages. The one at the high school had yesterday was 33 pages. So, you can come through here, highlight the things you see that need to be fixed on this, and then you've got to go in and fix on each course. And if you see the same thing over and over and over again, then you can go and do the mass change on that. Like our scheduling team, do we have it on this one? I forgot to look at it on the other report, but you can see the things that you might want to do a mass add with. So go ahead and X out of that and back out of that one and back again. Okay, so y'all don't have to have prerequisites or co-requisites. Okay. We can skip the course availability list. The course availability list is what's gonna be available to kids for online scheduling. Since you're not gonna do the online scheduling, we don't need to do that. We could go through and do that, and we would be able to see by grade level what's being offered out there. I kinda like to do that because I can look at it and see, oh, wait a minute, why is that 8th grade course out there for the 6th grade kids? But since, you've got the other report over there for that, we won't go look at that one. One of the areas that is going to be most helpful, go up to office, and we're actually leaving the build course master right now, and we're going into the request processing area over here. And go to setup, and utilities. And this is where our course requests come in. I don't know about your old system since things were done differently. With Skyward, like I say, everything comes off those course requests. So we put in the course request before we go through and do the scheduling. The scheduling looks at the course request and then goes through and does and runs from what's been scheduled or what's been requested out there by the student.
This is probably a silly question.
No.
Course requests. This is my first year, so I don't know if we do course requests.
I know, whenever I was going through future scheduling, because I'd been a teacher, and it's like, I'm pretty sure people don't do course requests. But with Skyward, you do course requests.
Do you have to?
Pretty much, because that's where all the scheduling comes from. If you don't do course requests, then the alternative is that you manually go and schedule everybody into the courses yourself.
Because that's how we do ours.
Yeah, you just manually go into each kid and put them in their course.
Yes.
We might be able to even help you, and
We are a small school.
Yeah.
So it can be,
yeah, and this may be something because of that, maybe that you would be able to use even for that right there. And there could be something else that, I know we're getting short on time, but I'll throw you also. Go to the mass, add, change, delete student requests. And I'll have people that are saying, I need to schedule the kid, and it's like, especially elementary people, that we need to get these kids scheduled into, and it's like, yeah, absolutely. If, come over here and click on add. If you have them scheduled into one course already, if you get them scheduled, like say a homeroom, do you put them in a homeroom or something like that?
we just go right in the first block. We just have to split them in each.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because what we can do here on this is, if they're already scheduled into a course, then I could come over here and pick course and say, click on course over there and pick that one course over here, algebra, because that's the only one we have a section for already. So if you're in algebra 832 and go ahead and select there.
I think I accidentally made that a few minutes ago.
Oh, that's okay, because you can delete it too, and I'll help you delete it. Then you can come over here down to scheduled class, and you can tell it, I want to automatically schedule the kids into, and, because that's the only one we've got to schedule them into, but normally you see a whole bunch of other sections right now. So if you're scheduled into this algebra class over here, I want to automatically schedule you into, maybe, honors, world history, honors science. I want to automatically schedule you into these classes right here. So once you get them in one class, then you can tell it to come over here and say, okay, anybody in that class automatically needs to have these over here and these sections right here. And like I say, for elementary school, that works great because I can say that anybody who's in Ms. Wilson's homeroom automatically goes into reading section 1, English section 1, math section 1, spelling section 1, and automatically put them in all those sections right there for that. So for the elementary, that is very, very, very good. Back out of that, the alternative for that we have over here on the mass, add, change, delete course requests, and it might even be something that you could do with yours, and you might try and say, oh wow, I really, really like this, and this really works really well, is using the course requests. So we could come in here and pick range, and up here, put in 7th graders. And so on our range over here, we would set our range for grade year. Oh, I hate the grade year first. What's the grade year for 7th grade kids?
It'd be 2020.
Okay, so put in 2020 there.
Ooh, we're gonna have to know that.
The way they have it set up now, yes. And then come over here for your high on 2020. They can change that, because see, the current 7th
Oh,
graders are
okay.
8th graders right now, so
Right.
they would actually be 2019, right?
So 2019 here.
Yeah, and then we'll come back and put, oh, no, 2017, no, 2021. And then put 2021 over here on this one.
On the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that way we're only looking at the 7th grade kids. Okay, so save that. If you have classes that all 7th grade kids have to take, all 7th grade kids have to take science, yes. So we come over here and click on, we leave it on add and course request.
Where are you? I can't. Are you under
Sorry
process
about
type?
that. Down in process type and click on course request. And so, let's see, something that looks like it's a 7th grade. Come over here to the number of records and make it show 100.
Yeah, because all of our core classes say math 7, science
Yeah.
7.
Mine's gonna say math 7. That's math 706 is up there.
See,
Right here.
okay, so we can go over there and click that and math 7 and health 7. Right.
Well, health would be an exploratory,
Okay.
so
Band 7 would be art, general music, any of those right there.
So just like our core classes that you.
Yeah,
I don't see the science.
that's what I'm looking for. I don't see science either.
okay.
I don't even
Oh,
see
I'm on another page.
Yeah, do the arrow over, and it still keeps those courses checked for you. CDC,
Wait, no, we don't.
Somehow or another, we've missed it. Oh, wait, hold on. I just found social studies.
Yeah, social studies is gonna say integrated.
Integrated, yep.
I don't see a science. I don't either, so I'm going
Okay.
backwards. And I don't see integrated.
There's
I
social
found integrated social
studies.
studies,
Yeah,
and we can also math.
I don't,
Science 8. Science 6, there's no science 7.
is there, a-
see, as you're looking through your list,
Can
and
you-
we sorted it by course.
right here, can I type in science 07?
It's gonna go by, you can try it, since, but it's gonna go by what you've got right there on the course, which is
Okay,
just that number, it's not going by the description there. Okay, so that should be all of them right there.
there's science 6. I don't think we had enough chosen, because I know earlier
There's a
Wendell,
math 7 that didn't have a check. Oh, but it was math 007.
That's special.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Y'all don't have a science in there, it looks like.
I thought we could just check on Jarrett's math and social studies for now, but we'll have
Yeah.
to go back and fix that later, or
Well-
this is just, we're just looking at something.
No, this is all of your courses you have in your course semester right now. You've got 144 courses, so y'all don't have your math, your science 7 in there. Yeah, so maybe we should have done that wish list, so that way you could look through there and say, wait a minute, we don't have 7th grade, science over there.
yeah, science 08 is in there, but
Okay, so we'll just go ahead and do save right now and save that. And we know that we've got to get science put in there. So now you'll notice that whenever we go and click up there, save and process, why is that save and process, my best friend, and it's okay and it's safe?
because we
Not gonna
can,
do it.
It's not gonna do it. I'm gonna get this screen where I come back and say, wait a minute, I don't think I like this. And you can go ahead and do this too, because the thing I love about this is we're gonna go ahead and put those course requests out there right now. And you may be saying, wait, no, I don't wanna do it. It's mass and change, delete. So as soon as we get through right here, we're gonna go delete them out again anyway. So we can go ahead and do it. Preview data to process. And it says, I'm gonna do it for all these kids right here. Well, as I'm looking at these names over here, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I already know he's gonna be retained this year. He's not going on. So I can remove him from the update, take him off of that. And I could take anybody off of there that I already know shouldn't be on there or anything.
Okay, so my kids, it's just pulling up all your kids in your school, right?
There are two different, thoughts on this screen right here, and I have sent this up to programming before and asked them about it. And they have told me there's two different screens out here. One of them is within ranges. It's like, this is not within the ranges that I put in there. And one of them only shows you the people it's gonna process. So this could be one of those where it is showing you everybody, and I'm 99% sure it is. And I've told them that is not helpful in going and figuring this out right here or anything. And they said that's the way the product owner wants it to work, and so I don't get to say that.
Mine's actually showing my sixth graders who I'm going to schedule into seventh.
Okay, yes, so that's who you should be seeing, yeah. But there are some of these screens that I know in the past, unless that product owner has changed it, that it does show everybody that fits within the ranges. So I can remove people from the update, but otherwise I'm gonna back. And I'm gonna go ahead and say, run the update.
So go
And
ahead.
like I said, and you're saying, I don't know if I want all this. It's okay, run it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna take it off. Now, it does say, if you click here, these are permanent changes that cannot be undone. There's no undo button, but we can come in and undo this in just a minute. So,
So
yeah,
hit okay.
click okay, yep. In this case, these permanent changes are not really permanent. So now when you have those course requests out there, you can go in there and run the scheduler or schedule those out there, and it'll automatically schedule those for those kids because the course requests are already out there. And so you won't have to go and pick all of them.
Well, my principal makes a list of kids and we give them to.
You can even do individual, you can, last year when we did training in one of the districts, that nobody gets access to anything until they have taken the test on the training and shown that they are worthy of getting whatever it was. Nobody had this out there, and I had a lady with 3 pages of kids who are not in this teacher's class anymore, and I have to move to this one. It's like, hey, we can use this. No, she hadn't had the test done yet or anything, of course, because that's what she's here training for. So she didn't have this access to it, so we had to go and unschedule everyone, and we could have picked that particular student, unscheduled those, schedule these, and boom, it would have been done. So you can use that on the schedule part. Scroll over and see if that's still processing there. Oh man, it's still running.
Is there a way to set, without going into each individual student, like I have 400 kids in chorus. Is there a way to mass assign those 400 students just to the chorus and not, and it's gonna say, okay, this is a 7th grader, they go in 7th grade chorus, 8th grader goes in 8th grade chorus.
And it's not all the kids that
No,
get
it's
it.
not everybody.
No.
Like currently,
Mhm.
I make a list.
Mhm.
I take the 6th graders and I pull it up and I have all the 6th graders in front of me. And then I check all the ones that need to be in chorus. Just to check assignment. And then I create a list. And I'll say chorus 6th grade. Then I'll take all those kids and I'll mass assign them to a chorus.
Yeah,
Or I'll mass assign their course request.
yeah, you could do that. It's not as ideal as what, are there any classes that you could say, okay, if the kid is in this, exclude them from the chorus? Okay,
Yeah, it's not that easy.
and go ahead and back out of that while it's running there and everything, because I know I'm gonna run out of time. Doing the enrollment thing at the beginning really eats up a lot of the time and everything. Click on edit here. No, actually back out of that, because I don't wanna mess up our template we have. Click on add. Over here, I can pick multiple students. So pick the option for multiple students and click multiple students. Oh, yes.
Oh, that would be
So
it.
in this case, yeah, you can go there, check,
Yeah.
and put in that course over there. Back out of that one, because that's what I was thinking that it
That'll
was.
be
Go
helpful.
over on individual.
Especially, band, chorus, drama, those are all classes that they're allowed to choose. That's
Yeah.
it, band,
Yeah.
chorus, and drama. Everything else is just gonna populate whatever
Yeah.
populates.
So you go put in these course requests for it, and I was thinking it was a screen like this, because a lot of them are screens like that, and we had people say, you do it right there, why can't you have it there? So for you, where the principal says you've got to put in these courses, you come over here, type that student name in, you just start typing a name right there in that box. Carmen,
Okay.
H-A, okay, pick that one. And you've gotta do add. If you don't click on the add and you say, okay, it doesn't do squat, you're nowhere, click okay. And you could even put in more students. If you had 5 kids that were gonna have the same classes, and that's what I was telling this lady, you got 5 kids that can move out of that teacher's class this one, you go put those 5 kids over there, you can do all of them right
So
there.
this is where you make your class list. So this is kind of what I'm used to in
This-
SMS. You just type in the names and you assign them.
Yeah,
This will be
so
helpful.
now you can come down here to scheduled class. You wouldn't have to use course request, you could come over there into scheduled class. Again, we've only got the one section. And you would pick all of those classes over there and click select. And you can just go ahead and do that since we don't have any.
Okay.
But then you'd go up to save and process and it would say, okay, these are the kids and these are, what I've got, these are the kids I'm gonna be doing here. And, then you say, yes, I'll run that, and it goes and does that over there for you, and it'll assign all those kids right there. So that is why I really, really, really like this utility, and when I take service calls with people, I'll tell them, well, let's change add delete request. No, I'm not doing the request, my principal's giving me this list of names, and I need to schedule them right now. It's like, yeah, but you can schedule here too. So don't get tricked up by this, even though it says course requests. So go ahead and back out of that one, and let's get back to the print queue again. And you can click the print queue from every screen just about. It's got the little print queue button there. And click on view and see if that one's done. Oh, you're kidding. Because it's 3:30 and it knows it's time for us to stop.
I know.
Okay, back out of this one, and I'll show you what's gonna happen from here. And back out of that, oh, no, sorry. Open that up again right there. And edit that one. Because I know whoever's school I'm in, Lisa's school, she does not really want those out there, and she's thinking, I'm gonna go and make sure. Actually, give me a new window real quick, and I know we're at 3:30, and I'll try to hurry real quick. This, right here on this one, on this screen up here in the front, yeah. And, because I wanna show you real quick, if we come up to Office, and I think it will do it for us, even though it's not finished running. Down to request processing, entry by student. And I'll try to come on this side.
My students came up.
Here's,
Mine did come up with a total required credit of 1.
Okay, so you can see that they got requests out there then. Because I don't know why mine's not putting anything. Come over here to this view. And click on student details maybe.
Oh, that's where I'm at.
Okay, you're in student details. Come back over to course requests again, 1516. Go up over there to that little drop down and do course request 1516. Because you can see it there too.
Is that what I need to do besides details too?
Okay, let's go to student details. Probably because it's still running. Yeah, go to student details, because that will show you yours will be a little bit different. So, but you should see that you've got some of them out there and stuff. So what we're gonna do is expand one of those. It's number 3 over here on ours. And I can see that this student has LA07. And if I'm thinking, no, he's being retained, not supposed to have that, I can come and click on the D here, and I can delete that off right now. So just click delete, delete, and it deletes it. But now, did you do scheduled on yours? Let's see, okay, so there's one, it's got 3 credits, so expand the triangle over there. And then you do course request right there, yeah. And And so then you can go over there and delete those.
Just click on the D.
Yeah, you can click the D and it'll delete it. It'll say, do you really want to delete this? Yep, I really want to delete that. And so I could even come in and add by course. And for that student, I can come over here and pick what I want to request for it, click on request, and it does add the request in there for it on that page. Even though it says it doesn't fit, it's still gonna add it in there. And I think it doesn't fit because y'all don't have any period times set up.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's saying this doesn't fit anything. But I can add the request in there. If I did that and said yes, then I click on finish and it would put it in there. But you can cancel out of that. So now what we're gonna do is just click the X this time. And go back up to Office and down to Request Processing Setup and Utilities. Mass Add Change Delete Student Requests. We've got the same template we had before, so we click on Edit.
Okay.
Same one.
Request process,
Uh-huh.
and go under what?
Setup.
Are we gonna have to take a tutorial thing before we're allowed to do this? Utilities?
But Susan is gonna work with y'all. She said, do not, yes, utilities. She said, do not be afraid, don't be worried, because
Well, I'm
she's
not-
gonna help you.
Because I'm not the master schedule builder,
Mhm.
or the person that's supposed to be building schedules. Yet here I sit.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And I know that really y'all are sitting here right now, oh my gosh.
This
I'm
is not,
texting my principal saying I'm completely freaked out.
no,
Yes, and I'm not kidding you.
this is not bad. I've built the master schedule for several years. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
I-
wonderful.
I have been in your
It's
shoes
wonderful.
when I started, because I came in as Skyward knowing everything. I cried the first 6 months, I really did, till we got to something I knew. And for real, and y'all can't go tell anybody else, because I only did my cert on future scheduling back in January. No, December, Christmas Eve, I did my cert on future scheduling. And so, I have only just learned future scheduling, and so it's one of those things that I have my cheat sheet over here that,
You
I
get
go
those
through my
cheat
steps. Yes, Susan has it and she's gonna send it to y'all,
Okay.
and you'll have those for you to help you. You'll have the tutorials you can go click on. And so, to me, I feel very, very confident with the
This,
future scheduling.
compared to SMS, this is extremely user-friendly.
Yes,
At what point will we have access to the help? Since I don't have.
if you're an Internet Explorer,
I am now. Earlier I was in Firefox and I did not
Yeah.
have it.
if you come in again, you should be able to get in there to it. And I know that right now, because this is exactly how those training videos are. They walk us through, and I have really and truly sat down and gone through my little database and gone through my little database and gone through my little database, and my kids have been scheduled and unscheduled so many times so that I can get comfortable with it. And as you do it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. I'm comfortable with it. I'm good, I'm fine, I'm great with it. And a lady that I trained this summer, on the scheduling thing, they hired her August 15th, school started the 25th. So of course she was lost on everything, nothing was scheduled, nothing was done. When we came back on the 28th, they said, go talk to her, because I know she's gotta be crazy by now. And it's like, oh, I worked with her that day. She's the one that I did all of this with and everything. And I was like, how are you doing? She's like, I'm fine, I've got it, I'm going, I'm good. Because she got in there and did it. So y'all really will be great. And so right now, with this one, we added those courses. I come over here, pick delete course class. It's just 3 steps over. And this time instead, and it even tells you if they can't be deleted because they have grades. Do you want us to drop? No, nobody's got grades out there yet, but you could say yes, if they've got grades, drop it instead of deleting it. So now when we go through and run this, what's it gonna do? It's gonna drop all of them out. When we go back into that request processing screen, everybody had 1 or 3 or whatever you saw, they're gonna have 0 now.
All right, how did you get to that screen? I'm sorry.
No problem at all, because like I say, it is a million things. Just click on edit, because it's the one we did a minute ago. And then, no problem at all. And that's why y'all are so lucky to have Susan, you really are, because she does understand, because she's going through so much right now that she's just like, I get it. I totally get where you're coming from. Now, Carmen, click over here, mass delete all requests. What's the difference now?
Because it's gonna affect everybody.
Yeah, you've got this big message over here, and it says, you are about to delete all of the requests out there for what we have set up in our ranges, and we set up 7th graders in our ranges. Is that what we want to do? Yeah, so that's what I did yesterday. When all my people left yesterday, I went in there and clicked mass delete all requests. So anything that was still hanging out there, I could go and get rid of it. So we click save and process. It still is going to give me this screen that says, that's what I'm afraid of. It's still running from the last time, so it can't be done yet. But after y'all leave, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to go mass delete all those requests out there.
So just hit back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because yours wasn't still running. Yours was still, because you had all 3 of your credits out there. She only had 1 because it's still running through to get all of that done with everything. So before everybody leaves, if I could get you to, so at least I have 3 reviews, because if I get 0 reviews, then that means you did a bad job. They did not think you did well enough to review you. So if you could click up here to account real quick. Yep, and when you get to account, it says evaluation of skyward training or something like that. If you can click on that and type in 2, 4 4s and 0 1. Maybe just go put all 5s on all of it, and then it's great and we're done. But and I know some people earlier were like, it's not letting them do it. Okay, so click back right there.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
How come the high school's got 2 full days and the middle school's got 2 hours?
I do not really know, because really and truly, this would be an all day. And we would go through day 1 for the whole day. Now granted, y'all aren't doing course requests like the high school is. So you're not doing scheduling and everything like the high school is, and because your kids aren't going through there, and you're basically doing the manual request yourself. But still, I mean, to me, it's an all day. And then to do the enrolling people.
I'm an enrollment person too.
Yeah. And also, another thing is normally we would not do this training until y'all had already had the other part that I went through at the beginning. And so that's what you get when you get there. Okay, it looks like it's not letting me come in. Okay, that's fine. At least I'll have some out there, and that's all that matters. Yeah, okay, thank you. So yeah, just click the X. Oh, no, there's a diagnosis problem, yeah.
Should I try again?
You can try again if you want to. Okay, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate it. But normally, y'all would already have like a demographics training that would show you how to search for the students, how to look them up, that would go over the SkyDoc and all that, and that'd be a quick 10, 15, 20 minutes at the very, very beginning that we would go over that. And so we spent more time on that also. So we had a lot that ate into that. There are definitely more steps, but we can build those sections with the utility whenever I come back, because if y'all don't have your course requests in, you see how easily we can go put those in there.
Because you're coming back in April.
April,
Is that right?
yeah. So, oh yeah.
So between now and April, I need to have all the course
Cleaning up the
requests
course,
right.
cleaning up the course master, but because y'all aren't like high school and everybody's pretty much getting the same ones, if you can get those course requests in, great. If you can't, we can do that on scheduling day even, because we can go in there and say mass assign, mass assign, mass assign, and put them out there.
And same, like I have 7 sections of algebra, over the course of 5 different teachers. No, I have 9. I have 9 sections. So do I need to be sure that I have 9 sections built in here?
If we go and do this, if we go and do that, automatically create sections out there, which we can even do that day. If you've got those course requests in there, then
We won't know who is going going to be in algebra until after TCAP comes back.
Mm-hmm. And, so even with the course request for like algebra, if we don't know, but you suspect we're gonna need 4 sections, then go in there and put in the estimated number of sections as 4. And fill in however many sections you think you're gonna need on that, and it will build it based on what you put in there for the estimated number of sections. Yeah.
Ladies.
Thank you, no problem, thank you.
Eighth grade, you could just not put a math
Yeah, that's true.
and an algebra, because that way, you could mass assign the other 3, 4 classes.
Right,
If
get them on a
you need
team.
help, let me know.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
Carmen Valkyrie at Bristol, so I'll be happy to help.
I think my son had your husband at, not really,
Ex-husband, well, ex-husband.
oh, sorry.
Well, I want Carmen to come back on the scheduling day for sure, because that's the one that everybody's usually like,
I'm very calm.
Yeah.
And I know if we screw up, Susan can delete it behind the scenes, because we had to wipe out our entire master schedule.
I know y'all had it, but, and our problem is the person who has always been our master scheduler is no longer an assistant principal, he's now in a classroom.
Mhm.
So we can get no help from him.
Mhm.
So he wanted everybody to learn it, but then they had to leave.
Seriously, if you need help, I'll be happy.
Okay.
to help you.
Yeah.
We're down the road from each other.
Yes, I may come over and.
And
Yes.
Susan's got the steps there, and there are screenshots on all of those steps, because Norma made that document, and they are great.
We can sit together at a computer.
Yeah.
Why don't we do
Because
it?
ours are gonna almost be the same.
It
I
will.
just have ag and you don't have ag though, right? Is that the
I'm
only question?
trying to talk one to adding it.
Well, do you know what? I got a call this week from a parent who said, can we go to Mount Juliet Middle because West Wilson doesn't have ag? And I'm like, I don't think in middle school that works. Because
No.
in high school it will work.
Right,
But
and
I'm
open
not sure.
enrollment and everything.
And now that
Well,
we're
why
not,
don't we do that? Lisa, what's your last name?
Smith.
Smith, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just plan on doing that, because yes, because that way, something you may have heard and I didn't, or vice versa, we can,
Like, do you want to do that before April?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your schedule's gonna be a lot busier than mine because I'm just the registrar. So I don't have the assistant principal,
Okay.
all the
Okay.
evaluations and all that stuff. You
Okay,
guys
so
do.
who is gonna take the village master schedules here? You?
I have no idea. Susan says it better not be me, but
I know how that goes.
I just
Mhm.
sent Susan a text and I said, guess what? I'm here all by myself and I'm not supposed to keep.
Keep me posted and I'll be happy.
I mean, he may say he wants me to be the one that does it, but,
Yeah,
you know,
and you could, I mean,
yeah, he could, you know, whatever the boss says.
And I'm at 032, right? That's,
Yes,
there's,
032.
okay, because I want to be sure I've got them going on at the same.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you
Carmen.
very much, Carmen. Yeah, but, okay, we're gonna try and mass delete those out again and see if it lets it do it. Yeah, when, that document really and truly is very, very, very detailed. And if you go through there and step by step by step, everything on there.
How about entering new students? How she said she wanted us to bring some stuff to enter new students. Is there a tutorial we take for that first, or do we just jump in and do it?
It's still running back there. That is crazy.
Yeah, there are 500
Yeah.
and 5.
Still, it's being very, very slow with that.
The reason I freak out a little bit is because I'm at the largest middle school in the
Mhm.
state,
Mhm.
and I have 1,550 students.
Mhm.
So to think of last year, I had to go through each one and make sure everybody had the schedule that they were supposed to
Mhm.
have, one at a time,
Mhm.
at a time, at a time. And I don't want to do that
Yeah.
this time if I don't have to.
And we've got so many reports out there for scheduling and everything.
Yeah.
You can go print students who have no schedules. And one of the things that we do with the course requests, which really helps the high school kids who don't have any course requests, who have too many and stuff like that. So we have reports for everything under the sun.
He's going to have our counselors put in course requests
Uh-huh.
for their grade level.
Okay.
Because they're gonna let them fill out a form and say, I want this exploratory would be my number 1 pick. This will be my number 2 pick.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna make them go in and do that. We've never done that before.
Yeah.
We've always just said, everyone's getting PE. And then the rest of them I put as a category 5 or priority 5 when it came to exploratories, and then it just filled the classes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And so see, it sounds like then that the counselors are the ones that need to be here right now so that they know how to do those requests.
Or at some point, because they were not on the list of people to come.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
just principal, assistant principal, and SIS.
I do remember Stan telling me that that's what it was going to be. Yeah.
yeah,
Which we had room. I wondered if maybe we didn't have room.
yeah, yeah. Well,
It's
and
okay. I
when-
guess we'll, if I can get in it and play with it.
yeah, yeah. And one thing I will say, as far as the scheduling and the training and how much time for everything and why they got, this much and this much, you can ask them and they'll tell you, I was there 2 days and I don't know that I learned anything more. Because it is, imagine a full entire day of one thing after another thrown at you and everything. And yeah, it really is. And in Texas, we have a district that is starting something different. So we go in and train their trainer people because they're down near Houston, so it's a very large district. And then they go in and train their own individual people because they pay for me to fly out here for 3 days. So you get everything thrown at you in 8 hours because I can't go at a pace that's comfortable for you to learn and everything because, you're paying for 8 hours or 6 hours, whatever. So in that case, they can come in and do 2 hours with the people and very slow pace, one-on-one, work them through every single thing. And then we can bring y'all in again for 2 more hours and not cram it all in at one time. So imagine if you got 6 hours thrown in instead of yes, you would be. Yes, you would be. So look at yours as a plus that, okay, I don't have 6 hours that I'm having to process or forget or anything. And I know the very, very first training I ever did, I went and told one of the managers, I think I told the people wrong because I told them this right here. And she said, well, you're right. That was wrong. But she said, it doesn't matter because they're not going to remember it tomorrow anyway. And so anybody that does remember you said that, it's wrong. And so everybody's going to say, she did not say it that way. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it really is so much. It really, really is.
And where in Texas do you live?
I'm at the Dallas office. I actually live in Fort Worth.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
My sister lives in Austin.
Oh, okay. Our other office is in Austin, so I have some friends
Okay.
and some family
I loved
down
it. I
there.
went this past summer. I went for 10 days. It was so
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
We did go down to San Antonio for a
Mm-hmm,
day.
mm-hmm.
But
Did y'all go to San Marcos, the malls?
we did.
Yes. Oh,
In
yes.
fact, I even had my husband. It was just my husband and I. And my sister went to Disney, and I went and babysat her dog. Sat her dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna float in the pool. The weather was gorgeous.
Yes.
It's not even as hot as it is here. It's like always a breeze.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where the breeze comes from, but there was always a breeze that was so nice.
Well, the Dallas is not like that. There's not always a breeze. Yeah.
But Austin was just so. And we went in June. Is when we went. When it was kind of hot, but it was nice and. We did go to the mall to the point where I said, I'm tired, let's go.
Yes.
I told him and he was like, what? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
My daughters used to dance in San Antonio on Mother's Day at the little, whatever that little stage thing is that they have on the river. And we would stop on the way back. And we'd have 4 hours or something to shop. And in that 4 hours time, of course, I didn't see half of anything, but I was like you, we're leaving now. I'm tired. We're going.
And we didn't go in every store. I just
No.
said, we're just going to pick what few stores I want to go in. And even still, I was
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You felt then exactly like you do right
Yeah.
now. And you're like, that's maximum. That's all I can hold right now. I can't do anything else. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, maybe she'll get us that sandbox thing that we can play in.
Yes. And that would be very, very helpful to be able to put stuff in there and not have to worry about anything.
Because right now, I'm scared to put a kid in because I don't know that it would be right.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to put people in because then I have to go take them out and everything.
Right.
And so I'm glad you said that because I do have those
Oh,
few
yeah.
people, yes, that I'd already forgotten about that I have to take out. Yeah. But really, when I come back in February, you will be so much better at this than I am. I'm going to sit here and say, wait a minute, where is the Lisa that was here before? Because you will be great at everything. And I tell people, because you're going to be doing the same thing day after day after day after day. Today I'm doing future scheduling. Tomorrow I might be doing new student online enrollment. The next day it may be attendance, and the next day. So I don't ever get that experience
Okay.
like you do. Yeah.
And we will go over student online enrollment that's part of the training, isn't it?
Because I know that there's the module new student online enrollment where the parents can go in online. Yes. So if y'all have got that one, y'all will get training on that too.
Okay. Yeah, that's a newbie.
Yes,
That
yes.
should be interesting to see how many people actually go online and do it.
Well, the place in Houston that I was telling you about, I was telling them that you could tell the parents that we've got a computer over there You go put your enrollment information in over there, and we'll do it right here. I said, you don't even have to have people standing there at the table. Have a couple of computers over there, and you could do it that way. And they're like, yes, yes, yes. We're not gonna have the people coming in and enrolling right there anymore. And after they do that, then you can come say, okay, driver's license, birth certificate, all these papers we have to have, check, 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 check. Yep, okay, yeah. And they go put in the bulk of the information, and that way, what new student online enrollment does, all that stuff that we were entering today, they enter it themselves. And all you go do is look at it and say, yep, 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 okay. And that's it. So they put the information in. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be, we're gonna have to open our computer labs up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
For even returning students.
Uh-huh.
We're saying that they're gonna have them do it too,
Mm-hmm,
so.
mm-hmm.
We'll see, it's just all new. So it's
Oh,
good,
yes.
you know.
Well, I really hope that even though you're overwhelmed, that you are loving what you see and you think, yes, this is gonna be better than what we
The
have.
only confusing part is that it keeps opening up lots of windows. That's pretty common.
Each thing is gonna open up a new screen, a new screen, a new screen. Yeah,
And that's different from
Yeah.
what we ever had before.
yeah. And that, like I say, is one of the drawbacks that I have whenever I'm in Firefox, because each time I go back, and I know it's the way I've got my browser setting, but each time I click back, I have to go pull that one up again off the bottom.
That's
So,
why I got out of Firefox when you were saying that. I'm getting out of Firefox.
Yeah.
I'm going into the other one.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
they just loaded Google Chrome onto our machine, so
Uh-huh.
that's something we have, or Google whatever, we
Yeah.
haven't had that before.
yeah, and I know everybody else in the office uses Google Chrome, but I just know, whenever I was first there, I was taking a whole lot of calls on Google Chrome, and that's what our IT guy told us, that we're not even supporting it right now because they do change so much. Well, apparently so many people use it that we've changed our thoughts on that. Yeah.
Well, our school has, our system has gone to like, teacher websites are all Google based,
Mm-hmm,
our, I don't know, something about our emails are all supposed to go through Google now, but I don't think they do. I don't
Mhm.
think we haven't changed them all over,
Mhm.
but they're trying to change a lot of stuff.
yeah, yeah. Well, and like I say, just know that if they got to do this and we didn't do this, that just means that they're twice as overwhelmed as you are.
Well, and I do have a friend that works in the city and they've been using it. This, I think maybe they went to it. Lebanon City, I don't think this year, maybe they've been doing it for a year or two or something.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah,
So, she said, you just call me anytime. So I
Yeah.
can call her and say, because she's at a middle school.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
And one of the last future scheduling trainings I did, they had a school from next door that had come to sit in on the training with them, just to kind of get a little refresher of everything. And so, yeah, when you have those neighbors you can call that have been using it, that are pros, oh, yeah.
That's part of the good part that they're excited about, is that anyone that comes from the Lebanon City schools will automatically populate into ours.
Oh, okay.
Into our skyward. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if we can just go grab them easy and it's already all in there.
That's
Now we have to
probably,
build a totally new record for
oh,
them.
yeah, okay,
So
huh.
we won't have to do that anymore. For anybody who's on Skyward now in the state of Tennessee, I think is.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
So if
yeah.
somebody comes to us from Williamson, which Williamson just went this year,
Mm-hmm.
we could just grab that student and everything they have about them.
Mhm.
To make it easier.
Well, see, and that's one of the things I was telling Renee earlier, because I thought the whole, Washington State, everybody is Skyward. And I thought Tennessee, everybody was Skyward. Yeah, and so she was like, no, it's like Texas where it's one of the preferred vendors, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and really, up until we started talking about Skyward, Lebanon was the only one I knew that had it. And I came to the sales pitch for,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
the SMS in the morning and Skyward in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm,
And it was up here in one of these rooms, and it was interesting. It
Mhm.
was to get to see it, but all we saw was just what was going on the
Yeah.
screen.
yeah,
But when they told us some of the features that they have, and your reports seem so much easier
mm-hmm,
than SMS's reports.
yeah,
So, because SMS gets so confusing with all their stupid filters,
yeah.
and I noticed that it.
No, and our reports are pretty much all the basic setup. Every now and then, like that user-defined options, you'll have something specific to that one. But otherwise, they're all the same general format with a few specifics.
And even the way that we would look for, like, a parent,
Uh-huh.
the steps you have to go through in our old system is so complicated compared to what that is.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. No. And that's why Stan always tries to steal my thunder on that one, because I know that y'all get those calls of my kid Johnny, and it's like, okay, that's not gonna help me much. And so as soon as I heard that, I was like, yes, that's how, yeah.
Well, thank you. I know you probably need to
Oh,
get here too.
I'm still trying to wait for that to quit running, so,
No.
yeah. I don't know if it's done it or not, so, but
Do
thank
fly
you.
out today?
Nah, I drive to Nashville, but Sunset Restaurant, I've not had a chance to go by there, and everybody's told me it's wonderful. It was closed yesterday, so I'm having early supper today. So the later I get out of here, the later my supper is.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sunset's awesome. It's a good place.
That's what I hear.
Did you make it to, Saki?
No, I made it to Demos. I went there the first night, and it was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, there's one of those in downtown Nashville too.
Yeah, really? Oh, wow.
My mom lives in Florida. Anytime she's here, we're going to Demas's, we're going to Demas's.
Yeah.
So we always go there. But yeah, Sunset's a locally owned,
Uh-huh.
and has a lot of.
Well, the lady at the hotel said anybody who can be closed 2 weeks in the summer and 2 weeks at Christmas and this and this and this and 2 weeks at Easter and all that, you know they've got to be good if they're making enough money to do that. I thought, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good place to go. So you'll enjoy it.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a safe trip home.
Thanks.